Hello, hello. Happy Friday evening. Welcome to my tea table. My name is Elise, and today we're going to be drinking tea. And we're going to be talking about how we can live the best life. And today's theme, although every time the theme is always the same, what we can do to find ourselves on the path to the best life. And of course, always talking in the context of tea. But today specifically, I want to talk about fitness and how a tea lifestyle plays into a lifestyle of fitness. So I will be going over a few peer-reviewed scholarly articles about fitness and different lifestyle themes around fitness. I think I found a couple of different studies from Taiwan, which also does have a very strong tea drinking culture. So I think that would be a good place to start. But of course, it's Friday night. We're having fun. It's always fun and casual. I'm streaming to Reddit, so I usually only stream on Friday nights to Reddit. I know I always get bombarded with a lot of questions, so please send your questions in tonight. Friday nights is for asking me, a tea expert, anything you've ever wanted to know about tea. So today I am going to be drinking a beautiful shu pu'er. This is from Nanoshan in Xishuangbanna, Yunnan, China. A beautiful post-fermented pu'er tea. So when it comes to pu'er tea from Yunnan, China, there's two different types of pu'er tea that you can choose from. There's the raw type, and that's mostly what pu'er tea has been in its history. But then there's also the ripe, or the shou pu'er, which I'll be drinking today. And the reason why it's a newer innovation is because it's a technology in which they accelerate the fermentation process. Instead of it needing to take 10 to 20 years, it can take just a few months. Now, this process is usually a very large scale process. So when it comes to small growers tea, organic tea, very high quality tea, you typically don't see that in the shou style of pu'er. You usually see that type of tea leaf being used for sheng tea, which would then be naturally aged to get that fermentation happening. But in the last couple of years, it's become very popular for small-scale factories to apply the shou process, so this expedited fermentation process. You can see the color is darker. Like a normal sheng pu'er, I'll show you what normal sheng pu'er should look like. So this is a bag of just normal sheng pu'er. You see it's still kind of like grayish in color. It's kind of grayish. Hey, Buster Keaton, what's up, man? Thanks for coming by. Thanks for staying. Hi. Hi, Boudica, Forest Hill Tea. Wow, and I've got people from the future hanging out with me. Beautiful Saturday morning for you guys. Thank you so much for joining by, saying hello. Feel free to say hello. I'm friendly. I'm pretty friendly. I love you too. So yeah, you can see it's darker brown in color. And this is from that fermentation process that happens. And that fermentation process is a real biological process. And the reason why I wanted to drink this tea today is because word on the street is that this tea is very good for helping with the metabolism. So we're talking about fitness today. Although I hope that we can evolve our understanding of fitness to know that it doesn't exclusively pertain just to our health and just to our diets and just how skinny or lean or fat we are. Like fitness has it's a much bigger concept, and I truly do believe that fitness and having a mindfulness for our fitness is an essential part of our happiness, or our way of finding our own happiness. Because as I have learned week and week over and over again, is that there is no one path to happiness, and we cannot judge someone else's happiness as an outsider. Okay, so I have my freshly boiled water here. I've got my electric water kettle. I've got it up to boiling temperature. I am just going to run it through all of my wares, just the hot water, to prime all of my wares, warm all of my wares up so that they are not cold and it doesn't shock the tea when I brew it with the hot water. If you guys are joining from Reddit, if you want to see a much richer experience, video content experience, please consider joining us on Twitch. You can hang out with Buster and all of our other friends from around the world over on Twitch. But if you're happy on Reddit, I'm happy with that too. Again, my name is Elise. You are welcome just to shout it out, ask them questions. So this is just my hot water. This is clean water. I'm just drinking it because water is also part of a good fitness in your lifestyle. Before we get started, does anybody want to provide their personal definition of fitness and what fitness means to them in their lifestyle? All right, so I have the warmed gaiwan. This is called a gaiwan. This is the quintessential tea brewing vessel. It is literally a cup with a lid. That's the Mandarin translation of that word, cup with lid. And you use the lid to hold back the leaf when you're steeping it. Now I just have the dried leaf in here with the warmed gaiwan. This is a very good time to smell the aroma of your dried leaf because the gaiwan is warm and it helps to release more of the volatiles, which are just the aromas, the flavor of the tea. Now I'll get started with brewing it. Now you'll probably hear people say all the time that you should rinse your pu'er teas, and that's usually true because it's aged. You know, it's a tea that's typically aged. And so if you did not age it yourself and you do not know the conditions of how it was stored and how it was aged, it's just smart to rinse it. Now, this is directly coming from the farm, organic tea, very like mindful, cleanly environment of where the tea is processed and stored. And then I've been aging it here in Las Vegas, Nevada. So I know exactly the condition of this tea. And I know I don't have to rinse it. So I'm going to go ahead and drink all of it. Yeah, the rinse, you know, that can help get rid of any dust that could be there, any dirt that could be there. And then, of course, if the tea was stored and inoculated with the wrong... That's interesting. Reddit just cut me off. I have to go back on again. Oh, sweet. Someone's playing some nice guitar. So the music tonight, I've chosen to play my favorite inspirational music, genre of music, whenever I'm focused on my fitness, getting myself charged up and into warrior mode. This is going to be a little mix of techno house music. I'm such a sucker for it. It just gets me fired up. So I'll be playing this music. Don't worry, I'm not going to break out into a sudden exercise here. Or maybe I will. Who knows? The night is young. We don't know. We don't know what could happen. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get lined up here on Reddit again. For some reason, I got kicked off. Oh, Buster, your mom didn't like the 7th cup. All right, we're back. All right, so my tea's ready to go. You can see how dark, beautiful, thick, rich. Like you can't even really see through it. It's got so much thickness to it. This is a good tea. This is a good tea. So my personal fitness, I like to run. And, you know, it didn't happen overnight. I didn't get into this cycle of fitness. Oh, I see, Buster. Well, you know, if you guys ever take a trip there, you'll know. I don't know if they have a shop. I think they have a physical shop. But yeah, no, that's a good tea. That's probably like the best tea that's being sold in Norway currently. But yeah, it took me a couple of years. I'd say like when I was younger, when I was a teenager and into college, I really did care a lot about my fitness. Not so much for my fitness's sake, but because I was into athletics and sports. I was a competitive tennis player. So that was what got me into my fitness, which, you know, is actually kind of problematic, I think, for a lot of people that grow up into a lifestyle of fitness. And when you get to an age where you can be independent, you almost rebel against it. And that's what happened to me. Like, I rebelled against fitness because I felt like I had invested so much of my time and effort into it. And I saw like reality, how the real world works. It's all about your education. It's all about your career and your salary. So I should be more focused on that. And so I like changed gears, and from like age 18 until about age 32, I'm so sad to say that, I like did not think about my fitness at all. And actually, maybe I was thinking about my fitness, because as we go into and looking at the definition of the word fitness and the history of the use of the word fitness, you can see that it's not just about exercise. It's not just about your physical health and your physical fitness. But maybe I was thinking about my fitness because I was thinking of my fitness of society. And at that age and at that time, I believed that my fitness in society was dependent upon how much money I was making, or my, you know, path to career success. I'm just going to go in with my second infusion here. Again, if you guys have any questions about tea, feel free to ask them. That's what I come on here on Friday nights in a more casual platform to open up the space for you guys to ask any kind of question about tea. I know I can oftentimes talk very expert level, high level about tea, but you know, tea is for all levels and all interests. So I want to welcome you all to my tea table and feel welcome and feel empowered and educated that the tea lifestyle is the right for you, you know, for living the best life that you can live. So Buster says that he was into skateboarding, snowboarding, and mountain biking until your 20s. And then you found the wonderful world of cheese, video games, and alcohol. Isn't that the story? Isn't that the story? Yeah. Well, you know, I think that there's a place. There's a place for those things, like the cheese, the video games, and the alcohol. Like I like those three examples of three vices that people can cite for why they're not focused on their fitness. But now, Buster, I'm sure that you're focused on your fitness. Aren't you training? Aren't you training right now? I thought you're training. But so from 18 to 32, I was absolutely not connected with my fitness one bit. I hardly thought about it. I was always just thinking about my career success, like 100%. I sacrificed everything else. I even sacrificed like personal relationships and just my own personal life for the sake of pursuing this ideal career or, you know, idea of success that I felt like I would be more fit for society if I met. But then when I was 32 years old, I finally realized how disconnected I had gotten from my fitness, and I really started to take it seriously, and I took it in baby steps. I think it's always good to take things like this in baby steps, and so that's going to be the overall theme of tonight's stream, tonight's conversation. It's not only about, like, let's talk about how important fitness is for us to live our best life and to find our happiness, but like doing it in a way where it's a lifestyle. So it's like we can have confidence that, like, when we make this decision today, it's going to be in place 40 years from now, 50 years from now. Because yeah, that'll be awesome, right? That would be so cool. You know, like, so many people talk about fitness and talk about it in a way of, like, they want to see the results immediately and they want to feel the results immediately. They want that immediate gratification from it. But fitness, especially physical fitness, is something, it's a tough one. So you have to find the ways to stay focused on it and stay consistent. And I think embracing things like cheese, video games, and alcohol, like, if those things are valuable to you, you can't compromise on those things, because then it's not going to be sustainable. It's going to be this passive aggressive, you know, attempt of working on your fitness versus, you know, a real positive step for your fitness. All right, so I've got some articles for us today, by the way. Hanging out outdoors. I brought my tea table, everything, to the outdoor gym, you know, to see the folks working on their fitness out here. All right, but I do have some scholarly stuff for us to go over today. And again, this is casual. We're taking our time. I plan to be here for a while with you guys, so if you need me to slow down, if you need me to go over something, if you need me to go research something else, I'm here for you. That's what we do on Friday night. You need me to take a little dance break, I shall do so. Doesn't this just make you want to go, like, work on your fitness? It's so funny. I never play house music. And Deer would never play techno house music, because for me, that genre of music is very, like, it's very intimate and very personal for me with that part of my life right now. So, like, techno house music used to be a big part of my social life. It's not so much anymore, but it's what I listen to pretty much exclusively when I'm jogging or running or exercising or working on any kind of fitness. Even if I do, like, online video, which, you know, that's another thing. There's a lot of really incredible free. Yeah, I've been to a lot of raves, Buster. But I haven't seen myself at raves in quite a few years now, and I'm okay with that. You know, my life has matured. I've gone to new places in life, but the music is still important to me, and it's pretty much like just when I'm exercising. So I typically don't play it during my streams. I've been streaming for about a year now, and I've never played techno house music for a single stream, but I figured today, my first time to talk about fitness, so I'll play that kind of music. And plus, it's Friday night. I can act like a DJ tonight, yeah? Yeah, Buster, I used to love the raves. Again, if you guys want to see the full experience, I am streaming to Twitch, and I stream 5 days a week to Twitch. Would love to have you guys part of the community. You can see the link right here at the bottom. My handle is TLetT. I stream exclusively about tea. All about tea around here. But today we are talking about fitness and tea, the cross section of fitness and tea. Why? Because I would love to see us all live our best life. And today, I think could be useful for us to learn how we can. Yeah, Buster, go ahead. Share your story of your last rave you went to. I'll tell you what, if your story is interesting enough, I'll share a story about the last rave that I went to. I may have to dig a little deep into the archives in the brain to remember that story, but I will, yeah. It might be Burning Man already, which they say, you know, Burning Man's not for raves, but like there are like hundreds of raves at Burning Man. I went to at least one of them, I remember. Okay, so we're at Merriam-Webster's dictionary. I always like to start at the dictionary. We're talking the word fitness today. Let's look up the word fitness. What the F does it mean? So, definition number 1. Hi, Anthony. How are you doing? Good evening to you. Happy Friday night to you. Anthony, where are you watching in from? Where are you watching in from? Let me know. Are you based in the States? Are you in Europe? Let me know. I want to know so I can know how to address you. But yeah, tonight's a little high energy night. We're talking about fitness. So definition number 1 from Merriam-Webster on fitness, the quality or state of being fit. Oh, you're in Ohio. Cool, Anthony. I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada. Ohio's a cool place. Like, literally, it's pretty cold right now, right? Compared to here, we're pretty warm. I think if I was to walk out the door right now, it is dark. If I was to walk out the door, I would not need my jacket. Well, good evening to you, Anthony. Thanks for joining in. Please join the conversation. What do you think about fitness? Is it important to you? Do you think it's important for your happiness? And what does it mean to you? What the heck does fitness mean? All right, the second definition, the capacity of an organism to survive and transmit its genotype to reproductive offspring as compared to competing organisms. Well, that's a fun one. It's pretty primal. I like thinking things in primal terms. So I like this actually. And I feel almost like the second definition is the real definition. Again, I'll read it again. The capacity of an organism to survive and transmit its genotype to reproductive offspring as compared to competing organisms. So this is where okay, thank you for the great question. My favorite tea to make kombucha with. So like I am not extremely experienced with making kombucha. I work with several different kombucha brewers around the country and supply tea for them. And in their experience and the products that I've tried that they've made, broken peko, that's like the grade, but it's like the broken leaf. So it's not the full black leaf, but broken black leaf, black tea. I've tasted some really good ones. Sometimes blends are good too. So I have one client that's blending a Nepalese, a Darjeeling, and an Assam broken grade black tea that they're making a really nice kombucha with. So yeah, I would say black tea. Overall, I've heard I hope I don't get docked on licensed music here. Isn't fitness about being swole? See, so that's it. Like, most people assume that it's just about physical activity and physical strength versus your fitness to reproduce. Because think about it. Like, why do people get swole in the first place? Like, really, think about it. Why do people do anything? I mean, even since I was a little kid, I knew we make money so that we can attract somebody to have sex with. Like, I knew that even when I was a young kid. right? So at the end of the day, getting swole is about reproduction, you know, in a very primal sense, in a very, very primal sense. And I always do like to think of things in primal ways. Good. I love working out too. I didn't always. And I had to like find my patterns and cycles that like I personally connected with in order to find, yeah, to find my sustainability and my enjoyment in working out. And I don't even call it working out. Like I like to call it my fitness. Like, and for this reason too, because I feel like not only does it make my body stronger and like makes me like look, maybe feel more confident or more sexy or whatever, but like that is like completely unimportant in the grand scheme of things, which is that it helps with like your mental focus. It helps with anxiety. It's like meditative for me, at least. Like I found it to be very beneficial, and for me to like value it enough to be like a daily activity for me once I found that connection with exercise or with fitness. Because whenever I was younger, fitness was always something like annoying. It was like a job. And I was a competitive tennis player. I always had, you know, this thing and that thing and that thing to do, and it was never purely about just my own personal enjoyment and my own personal journey with exercise. Yeah, you do it for mental health as well as physical health. That is so true. It is so true. And, you know, that helps you get on the path for the best life. So yeah, with the kombucha, I'm going to leave this last note about kombucha. There's this misperception that if you use really high quality tea, like this type of tea that I'm using, this is a very high quality tea, high value, high quality tea. There's a misperception that if you use this type of tea, it's going to produce a better quality kombucha. And I've come to learn that that's not necessarily true. That like, if you use a good quality tea, yes, but it doesn't have to be like the most elite quality. And actually the broken grades, which tend to be lower quality, they get graded lower quality, can be more affordable. Which, when it comes to kombucha, you're brewing large amounts of tea in order to ferment with the scobies. So if you want to try some of the tea that I import from the small tea growers we work with, you can visit this website here at the top, teaanditspeople.com. I recommend a tea there called Baby Amber Red. Baby Amber Red. It's a black tea, a broken grade black tea from Nepal. Really, really delicious. Oh, you heard that kombucha gives scurvy? I never heard of that before, but I wouldn't doubt it. I actually I don't have a very big kombucha habit myself. Like I said, I don't brew it myself. I'm not consuming it that much. Every now and then I do crave one. Especially, you know, I work with several different businesses that are brewing kombucha, and, you know, I get samples from them to try it, and I do enjoy it here and there. But I couldn't imagine drinking it daily and drinking it in large amounts because, yeah, my body responds quickly and will like just kind of tell itself enough. But like when it comes to tea like this, I can drink it nonstop. Oh. Oh, the music just got really dark. Your nasty trolling comments made the music very dark. Let's skip this. No good. No good. You played tennis for 15 years. That's awesome. I played for like 9 years. I played for like 9 years. And it's great. I love it. And every now and then I do play tennis, catch up on it. I meet friends in life that like to play tennis. But now I'm really very much into running, because that's like something that is accessible to everybody. You know, you can just walk out the door of your house. Yeah, so okay, Donguchi, whatever you like to be called, sorry. It seems as if you could mix kombucha with this cold flu medicine. I wouldn't recommend mixing it with any like alcohol kombucha. You know, there are some popular kombuchas that have alcohol in them. So I would stay away from that. I wouldn't be mixing those things together. But if it's like a non-alcoholic kombucha, which most kombucha on the market is, I think it should be fine. You should be able to do that. Donguchi. So I was looking in at the history of the word fitness. It's actually a very modern term. I'll go ahead and read this article. This is from like International Translation Services blog. So this is not like a peer-reviewed scientific paper or whatever. I just like the way that they talk about this subject. So it says, for many of us who have made New Year resolution about getting into better shape, today's word usually has one definition: pain. Joking aside, talking about fitness. Joking aside, whether the goal is achieved through diet, exercise, or some combination of both, physical fitness is one of the most widely made resolutions. Considering that so many people want to improve this aspect of their life, perhaps we should take some time from straining our muscles to examine the word itself. And here we are. Though we have grown to think of it exclusively in physical terms, the term fitness is actually defined as the quality of being suitable, and comes from adding the Old English suffix "ness," meaning the state of being, to the root fit, meaning proper or suitable, which is of unknown origin. There's theories ranging from Middle English to Old Norse. Looking at the initial definition, it is difficult to see how this could relate to exercise. However, considering it abstractly, fitness is the quality being suitable relative to what is considered a healthy individual. So that's where the physical aspect of it comes. Hi, Melissa. Hey, so Melissa, Twitch is by far the best place to join the conversation. But if you want to stay on Facebook, you're welcome to. Your comments are actually being pushed to Twitch live, so should be fine. But yeah, you can stay on Facebook. Thanks so much for being here, Melissa. It's good to see you. Pierre Wilhelm, much love to you. I hope you're doing well, staying warm, enjoying your new spot, getting comfy there. What does fitness mean to you, Melissa? Out of focus dancing. Yeah, I like this article. Thinking about fitness beyond just physical, or if we are going to think about it in the terms of physical, what does that mean then? It's like having big muscles does not help you fit into society, right? So it's not about the muscles themselves. What is it about physical fitness or about any kind of fitness? Health fitness, mental fitness, intellectual fitness. Yeah, those are all important aspects of it. In the UK, one of the obvious examples of fitness are exercising DVDs. We are not just shopping for our home workout DVDs. The average adult Brit over a lifetime spends about 300 pounds on various fitness equipment, with residents of Brighton leading the way, spending over 850 pounds just on fitness. Unfortunately, with 16% reporting that the exercise equipment was never used, and 25% dropping their health and fitness routine within the first week. It does not seem to matter how much you spend or what you buy. You can't buy fitness. You can't buy it. You have to work on it. It's like within all of us. So Melissa says fitness means having yourself, mental, emotional, physical, at a state of well-being. It's whatever is healthy for you in your body. Yeah, that's it, Melissa. That's it. So, a 6-month fascination with CrossFit and keto dieting is not fitness. Especially if it's just that, a 6-month obsession. And then it turns into once a week, and then once a month, and then, oh, what happened? I was fit 5 years ago. What happened? Versus slowly building a habit of working on that physical, mental, emotional fitness, taking baby steps towards it. Because then in 5 years, it will be so much easier for you to look back and be like, whoa, look at my fitness. I mean, and I feel like that's kind of where I'm at right now. So I was telling my story. I was obsessed with fitness, physical fitness as an athlete in my youth. I completely abandoned it as I switched gears from athleticism to academia, because academia would mean a better career, and a better career would mean a better salary, and a better salary would mean I'm more fit in society. And it wasn't until I was 32 until I started to reevaluate my fitness, instead of just trying to take the steps on every piece of the game board we call society. I decided, to take my fitness into my own hands. And I took baby steps for it. Yeah, Melissa, that is a good point. Melissa says an obsession with anything feels unhealthy, even for things that are not normally healthy. Yeah, when you're obsessive about it, can obsessions be a lifestyle, though? I don't know. That's an interesting question. It's like, I understand your point, Melissa. So Melissa says an obsession with anything feels unhealthy. I get it. I agree with that. Because, obsessions tend to be fleeting. So I don't know anybody who's had like a lifelong obsession. If you have a lifelong obsession is an obsession, like are obsessions inherently unhealthy? Are they inherently inauthentic? So like let's say tea, for instance. Some people say I have an obsession for tea. Or food or something. Let's just say something, for example. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little off topic. But I get what you're saying. Because, obsessions tend to be fleeting. All right, so Buster's got his rave story. I'm going to read it first. I'm going to censor you, Buster, because when it comes to rave stories, you never know. I know I asked for it. Oh, so Melissa clarifies. She says you're passionate. The difference between obsession and passion. That is the definition right there. That is the cutoff point. I get it. That's it. So your 6-month obsession with CrossFit and keto dieting is not a passion. Now your passion for fitness and for elevating your fitness, constantly trying to elevate it, that has some bite to it. That has some grip to it. That has sustainability to it. All right, Buster, I'm going to take a couple seconds to read your story because I'm not going to read it out loud because I don't know. So what happened? So, okay, Buster, I'll read your story. So Buster says it was a wet fall evening around 2008. I think we saw some ad on some underground website. So we bought as much beer as we could carry, about 15 beers each. We get there and it's an old train tunnel. It was on every news channel when we woke up the next day. I want to know what was on the news channel. What did you guys got in trouble? You guys got raided? Did the rave get raided? Yeah, so at age 32, I decided I was going to develop a passion for my fitness. And I took it baby step by baby step. I started out with, like 40-minute exercise sessions that I knew. I knew that I could hold myself accountable for that. I knew I could do that. And month by month, I would increase it. I would increase the intensity. I would increase the amount of exercise. And I found myself continuing to do that 2 years in. Now I'm 4 years into this journey of discovering my fitness. And I'm like constantly... I'm constantly improving and trying to increase the intensity and increase the challenge that I give myself. So what that means in quantitative sense currently is that I can run 10 miles now and I feel great. 4 years ago when I started that journey, there was no way ever. Even a 2-mile run was like intense for me. So, I feel good about it. And I feel like even if something were to happen in my life where I had to take a break for a couple of months because of something, I feel like that lifestyle has ingrained itself so deeply into my habits and into my values now that it would sustain itself even with injury or with, whatever pause or anything that would happen. All right, so Buster, I guess your second message did not come up earlier, so I'm going to read the second part of Buster's story. So everything looks really shady, as most underground raves do, but we were hyped. Of course, you had 15 beers each. And enter. After we've been inside for 2 to 3 hours, we start to feel dizzy, and then we see the fake guards carrying passed out people outside, and we got outside in time, almost passing out, as the stupid morons had the generator inside the tunnel, almost killing you guys. What? That's why you guys were getting dizzy? Man, that's dangerous. I'm glad that you got out of there, Buster. What is a tea expert? Well, I know a lot about tea. I'm a food scientist, and after working in the food industry for 4 years, I was pretty jaded, actually, about, how unfood our food industry is, especially big food. And so I joined the Peace Corps, and I worked with farmers in rural West Africa, and just completely had my mind blown about food systems and about how we really need our food systems, in the Western developed world. And so when I had returned to the States and got a job as a food scientist again, the only company that was able to attract me, with their sustainability initiatives and with the quality of their product was a tea manufacturer. They make unsweetened green tea in the bottle, ready to drink. It was pretty healthy. And that was like my first exposure to tea. I worked for that company for 2 years and then left to do a Japanese MBA so that I could get more involved with this Japanese tea company. And then I did an internship in Kyoto for 6 months working with farmers. Yeah, well, okay, you're right. America's got some messed up food systems, but unfortunately, those food systems are being quickly replicated and emulated in other communities. So it's kind of a problem everywhere, even in the developing world. You know, it's pretty bad. Our food is not food. Here in America, most definitely. And I worked with tea farmers in Kyoto. I worked with tea farmers in Hawaii, and that was back in 2010. I graduated from my MBA and started the business that I'm currently working on. This is Tealet. We're at my warehouse in Las Vegas, Nevada. I've been building this business for almost 9 years now, and it is a software company. We facilitate trade between small tea growers around the world, independent family-owned tea growers around the world, and tea business buyers. And I've traveled to visit all the tea farmers that we work with across 13 different countries, dozens of different growing regions within all those countries. And I help with their quality control. I, of course, import their teas and then market those teas and help represent the farmers in the market. And yeah, in that time, I've become quite an expert. You know, people oftentimes will use the term tea master, and that is grossly inaccurate. Actually, a tea master is somebody who is very intimately connected to the tea plant and this is my definition of a tea master. A tea master is somebody who can harvest and process a perfect batch of tea 100% of the time. There's not many of those. Tea is super underrated. And so that's why I've become so passionate about it. It's like, originally I'm passionate about food, right? I studied food. I got super into food. I want to work with food. I want to help feed people. I want to help people discover a very healthy, good relationship with their food. And tea was kind of unassuming. I never drank tea. I was like clear into my 20s before I drank my first cup of tea. And then I was just thrown into the industry to learn everything that I know now and work with now. And so I do a lot of education. I educate business owners. I educate tea farmers. There's a lot of development work going on, rural development work going on in places like India and Bangladesh and Sri Lanka and Kenya and Malawi and even in places like China. There's still a lot of like underdevelopment happening in a lot of the tea growing regions. What do I think of high tea? Well, I don't think I've ever even gone. Maybe I went to a high tea like as a kid just for fun, and I probably didn't even drink the tea because, you know, I was just into the ambiance and the snacks and the little cakes. I really liked that, but high tea is a very like British style of tea culture, which I like to keep things positive here. So I'm just gonna say I appreciate more of the Chinese, Japanese, Taiwanese, Korean style of drinking tea. Okay, so you're asking about what tea to drink for insomnia. All of them, really. And that's like a whole lifestyle thing, including fitness, what we're talking about today. Because at the end of the day, like when you're talking about health, when you're talking about anything regarding your health, sleep is like number one. So important. And tea actually plays a role in that. Even though tea has caffeine, tea has like a lot of energy in it. It will energize you and get you going. But like in Chinese traditional medicine, how tea is used as a medicine is a proactive medicine. Similarly to how like CBD or hemp is being used as a medicine these days, where it just helps equalize your state, your chi, your energy. It equalizes all of that so that you can like rid yourself of anxiety and sleep, or do the things that that you need to do to maintain your health. It's not like a reactive medicine. It's not like when you go to the doctor and they give you a medicine and say, oh, you'll be all better. It's proactive. It's like, and so if you're dealing with insomnia, I'd recommend that you should make that like, I don't like to use the word should, because I have no look into your life. I know nothing about what you should do. Like, so I'm just going to give a recommendation about insomnia, or more generally, the importance of sleep. Right. And so that's something that you can work on all throughout the day, not just at 2 o'clock in the morning whenever you want to be sleeping, but like all throughout the day. Think about those cycles in your body, and drinking all types of tea during the day, including teas with caffeine, to help keep you into those cycles. And then at night, there are, like lower caffeine teas, but there's also some herbal tisanes, which, aren't tea. Tea comes from the Camellia sinensis plant. That's like black, white, green, oolong, pu'er, yellow tea. But, something like chamomile, chrysanthemum, someone had recommended that. Those are all really good for like calming the nerves and helping you sleep. But I actually recommend a product that you can get domestically here in the U.S. That's hemp flower. So this is not like THC cannabis, like the expensive like weed. This is actually coming from the industrial hemp plant. These plants were grown for seed production, which eventually would go towards the like medicinal CBD market. But this one is just a flower, and you can infuse it just like a tea, and it's like very subtly calming for you. Melissa is recommending valerian root too. Yep. And I'm sure you can go to like an herbal store and get some recommendations of different herbs that you can get for at nighttime. But like I think insomnia or like difficulties in sleeping are not challenges that you should face only at nighttime. I think those are challenges that require a holistic approach, where it's like, how am I going to adjust my day and act accordingly throughout my day to put myself into a good position to be able to focus on my rest when the time comes. Matcha is very good, especially, good quality organic matcha. It's very high in energy though. So like I wouldn't recommend trying to drink matcha right before you want to go to sleep, but matcha could be something that you can do in the mornings when you get up, or especially if you're trying to put yourself onto a certain schedule and you're not used to being up at a certain hour in the morning. Adopting a matcha habit to drink a bowl of matcha to get yourself going could be helpful. But yeah, no, matcha's got a lot of caffeine and a lot of theanine in it. It takes a very trained tea drinker to be able to handle matcha with insomnia at the same time. If not, it may just help your insomnia better, make you a more functioning insomniac, I guess. So Melissa says high tea is more about a meal than the tea really anyway. It's really dinner with some tea. That's funny. It is, yeah, it's like an early dinner with tea. And a lot of times it's like in a fancy environment and there's a whole kind of culture around it. It's fun. There's some pretty cool high tea experiences here in Vegas at the Waldorf Astoria. They have a tea house there with a beautiful view of the strip and the desert and the mountains and everything. But I'm sure the tea is not great. But yeah, high tea is not really about the tea anyway. Sleep is underrated. Sleep and tea, both underrated. More sleep, more tea, 2021. That's our campaign. You've tried a lot of teas, and in your view, chai is great. Well, repulsive property 5. Thanks for that. Did you know that chai is Hindi for tea? So when you use the word chai, I'm assuming that you're talking about masala chai, which is like a spice blend tea, and that's typically served in Indian homes and on the street as well. Indian chai is typically like very strong black tea that takes to milk and sugar. And you're Indian. Cool. Where are you from in India? I spent a lot of time in India, in the tea growing region, so mostly South India, Nilgiri, Assam, Northeast Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, and of course Darjeeling and West Bengal. Buster had a dandelion beverage today. Cool. Awesome. And thank you for saying that's not tea. It is, the technical term is Tisane. Tisane. Oh, you're from Rajasthan. Cool. I watched a very cool movie about people from Rajasthan the other day. What was it called? Mango Dreams? I believe that's where the movie started out. That's a really cool movie, Mango Dreams. I have tried cardamom. Cardamom is actually a popular ingredient for masala chai. It's a spice, a very popular Ayurvedic Indian spice. Melissa says, I really hope that the brag about skipping sleep for work ends soon. Is that still happening? Are people still delusional like this? I thought the pandemic helped everybody normalize sleep. Right? Because we were all sleeping and napping so much at the beginning of the pandemic, everybody realized, oh, yeah, sleep is actually pretty good. Oh, let me get out. Let's go back outside and watch these guys exercise. Chrysanthemum, yeah. Oh, that's what you were asking about? I have had. I'm not a huge fan of chrysanthemum tea. I find the texture to be a little too kind of tingling and numbing. Not so much numbing. I think kava root is very numbing. Licorice root can be very numbing, but chrysanthemum is tingly, and I'm not a big fan of that texture. I prefer soft and comforting type of texture. My favorite type of tea is shaded green tea from Japan. So that would include matcha, but more specifically, I am a big fan of gyokuro. Gyokuro is a shaded very similarly to how matcha is shaded, and it is processed into a sencha type of tea. So it's different. It's brewed like how sencha is brewed, but very umami, very thick, very good, expensive. I don't get to drink it often. Oh, Brian, welcome to the party, you high-functioning insomniac. Okay, Buster, we'll be here. We'll be over here doing leg lifts, don't worry. Well, thank you, High Roller. I appreciate you so much. Where can you buy the gyokuro? I don't actually usually carry gyokuro in my catalog because it's kind of priced out of the US market. It's too valuable. I used to import it all the time because it's my favorite tea, but it would never sell. Oh, hi Trip Tens. Welcome to the tea party. We're just drinking some beautiful Shou Pu'er from Nanoshan in Jishambana, Yunnan, China. Beautiful accelerated fermented tea, aged tea. You see how dark its color is. This tea is from 2019, so it's only a few years old, but it's already so dark. And that's that. It's almost like composting. They essentially compost the tea to bring the warmth into the pile of the tea, which accelerates all that fermentation to happen. I'm happy to hear that you love tea. Hi, Jim. Welcome to the tea table. Thanks for coming by. Talking about fitness. Jim, let me know. What do you think about fitness? What is fitness to you? Is it important to you? And yeah, just any general idea you have about fitness. Is it just about physical activity or is it about something more? I think it's more. Oh, you want to see my brew device? Yeah, sure. Oh, I've got something brewing in there right now. So this is a Gaiwan. This Gaiwan is made by my friends in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I'll decant for you. So I've got my pitcher here. I'm just using the lid of the Gaiwan to hold back the leaf. And the leaf is a little bit small. You can see those little specks of the leaf. So I'm going to use this to strain back the leaf. Just like that. And now you can see the full thing. Handmade from Albuquerque, New Mexico, US made. There's actually a lot of potters in the US now that are focusing on tea wares and making really nice tea wares. Ah, Melissa, yeah, you've had the Burmese fermented tea leaf salad. Lucky you. That is so delicious. That's one of my favorite dishes in the world, actually, to be honest. It's so freaking good. I'm guessing you went to Burma Superstar in San Francisco. But yeah, Burmese restaurants are getting really popular. I love that dish. It's like fermented tea leaf, and they actually use fresh tea leaf. They pickle the fresh tea leaf. So, you know, some people have said that you can just use your spent tea leaf and pickle this to make the tea leaf salad, but it's, Rangu Ruby in Palo Alto. Cool. It's so good, Jim. Well, Jim, you're in Portland. I'm pretty sure there's a Burmese restaurant there. You should check it out. Go eat Burmese food. If you are in a big city, I guarantee you there's a Burmese restaurant. Actually, in fact, Jim, since you're such a good friend of the channel, I'm going to look it up for you. Oh, you know what? You've got 3 different Burmese restaurants. Well, you got 2. You got Burmese Delight and Top Burmese. You got 2 different Burmese. Let's see this Top Burmese. I'll check out their menu, see if they've... I do drink coffee. I love coffee. I have 1 cup of coffee every morning. Every morning. That's my morning ritual. Everybody always thinks that I must have tea every morning. Nah. Just coffee. And then tea all the rest of the day into the night. All right, I'm checking the menu of this Top Burmese restaurant. And they have it. $12.75 green tea leaf salad. They even have the fermented tea. Make your own delicious Burmese tea leaf salad at home with easy to use DIY kit from our partner, Burma Superstar. Burma Love Foods. Oh, that's interesting. So they're importing the ingredients now and selling just the ingredients. That's good. That's cool. Yeah, Jim, go check it out. I don't think we have a Burmese restaurant here in Vegas, Melissa. We'll have to make our own. So Trip10s on Reddit says about fitness, I quit the gym because of COVID and now I run. I should do more resistance exercise. That is awesome, you know, and I think that that's a sentiment that a lot of people have. I was already in love with running even before the pandemic. And I'm grateful for that because I didn't have to. Like, a lot of people went through that difficult challenge of like separating themselves from their gym lifestyle. I didn't have to do that. I don't like going to the gym. I never did. I used to go to gyms when I was younger, like when I was in high school and the beginning of college. I just like, because I was an athlete, like that was kind of like the culture around fitness was like you go to the gym to be fitness. But now I've come to realize that it's a very personal relationship that we all have with our own fitness. And so it only makes sense that we should be in very intimate, personal spaces when we do it versus crowded into a gym. All right, High Roller, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope you have a beautiful night. Enjoy your cup of tea, and we love you very much. Aunt Gina. No. Who's Gina? Is that somebody from the gym? Aunt Gina? Tea gang for life. Hell yeah. How is mold avoided in the fermentation process? Well, Spoon, that is an incredible question because it is so relevant. They can't avoid it. It happens. And you know, a lot of people, they drink pu'er tea, like they'll go to a tea shop or their friend will give them some pu'er tea and they'll drink it and they'll say, oh my God, it smells like fish. It doesn't taste good. Pu'er tea tastes like dirt and fish. It's not it's not good. It's so gross. And the reason why is because the wrong bacteria and molds are growing and producing their own off flavors and aromas. It's just like other things. When they smell fishy is usually something to do with like a pH balance and like the flora and what they're producing to create those smells, including like the smells of death, you know, like it's all related to that. So when you're doing this type of processing for this type of fermented tea, it's really important to be working in a sterile environment. Just like when you're brewing beer or something, like if you are brewing beer in a dirty environment, you are more than likely going to inoculate your beer with the wrong stuff and it's gonna make off flavors and off compounds. You like my my tea fairy? So this is just a little toy figurine of the tea fairy. If you want to meet the real one, she's here. She's cute, isn't she? Yeah, Spoon, totally. Yeah, I got a lot of sick stuff at my table. I love it. This one's cute too. This was gifted to me at Christmas. My friend owns a toy shop here in Vegas. These are cool little like, they're like surprise random toys. I think Japanese, they're Japanese. And when you open the box, it's like a surprise what's inside. And I got a little peekaboo. But it glows in the dark. It's really cool. Yeah, Magic Tea Fairy, for sure. I like to keep things fun and magical around here. Just like this. Petrified bacon. That's magic. Lifelong altar to bacon. Yeah, so all of this stuff here that I have on my tea table is like my cha-chi. So cha-chi means tea play. It's Chinese for tea play. And it's basically the energy that you create around your tea service. And so these little guys, this one actually is the original. This is the OG tea pet. It's a little tea boy, a pea boy, a little pee-pee boy. You see he has a little hole right there. It's like when you get this really cold and then you put boiling water on top of it, it squirts out of a little hole. This is like the original one. They're like fun little cute characters that hang out on your tea table with you that you can, you know, pour tea on top of when they look thirsty. I like my persimmon, give them a little bit of tea. A little thirsty, you know? But everything else I have here is like my personal story. So like the tea fairy, this is kind of like my alter ego. If I ever do cosplay, it would be of her. And then the bacon, you know, I'm in Chinese zodiac, I am a pig and I totally identify with that. These are my things, you know, and I've got my Bitcoin chips. I am a big fan of Bitcoin. I love Bitcoin so much. I named my dog Bitcoin back in 2013. So yeah, this is my personal chachi, my chachi. Yeah, chachi. Chachi. Chachi is a different thing. Chachi is like energy, tea energy. That's funny from Happy Days. That was such a good show back in the day. Jim, why isn't she using headphones while doing leg lifts? Because she's listening to our stream today. She's like listening to us talk about fitness while she works on her fitness. How many Bitcoin am I sitting on right now? You know, so this is something about my story with Bitcoin. My business is an early adopter of accepting Bitcoin. I actually went through my records the other day to look at all of the Bitcoin that we have ever received and sold. I have never once bought a Bitcoin. Never once have I bought any Bitcoin, but I have sold almost 250 Bitcoin. And I purposely sold them because I acquired those Bitcoin through the business, through the tea business. And my CPA, who is my sister, my accountant, she insisted from the beginning, please do not hold any Bitcoin because your taxes, especially if you're a business, they become very sticky when you're having to deal with all of the exchange rates, you know, at the times of transactions. So unfortunately, I don't have any Bitcoin. And I'm okay with that. I just got one. I've got one Bitcoin. Bitcoin, come here. Bitcoin. I'll introduce you to Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin. Come here, boy. Come here. Come here, Bitcoin. Good boy. Come here. Let's meet your friends. This is the only Bitcoin that I care to have. Oh, yeah, Melissa, Bitcoin loves you too. Just this little grumpy face. He's our head of security and our CFO. I let him count all the money. He's worth at least 50K, you're right. He's worth more. He is a baby. He's like, it's cold out here. It's cold out here. He is cold. Yeah, so this is the only Bitcoin that we keep. Yeah, so the Ingenuity, that's a good tea brewing device. Yes, Buster, worth millions. Worth millions and billions and trillions and cajillions. All the aliens. Bitcoin is one of my favorite streamers. Yeah. All right, Bitcoin. Jim said the magic words. You guys get to have him. You guys get to have him. He's gonna steal the show. Utterly priceless. Yeah, that's a great tea brewing device. That is an awesome Trip 10's like I actually have one. I use it only like when I'm trying to like brew a bunch of tea at one time. It's a good fast brewing device. But usually I love the Gaiwan. I'm a big fan of just the Gaiwan. Jim is happy to see you, Bitcoin. Now he's going to be up here shivering, begging for treats. Even though he ate a big meal. Right before we went on stream, he ate a big meal. That's actually why the first hour he wasn't over here, because he was food coma after the big meal that we had. He ate half of a poke bowl. So he had enough treats. Don't let him make you feel sorry for him. The ritual to get a treat. Well, unfortunately, I don't have any treats for him. The only treat I have is this very special heart-shaped chicharron. He doesn't have his little vest today. It's not that cold. He only wears clothes when he's cold, you know? He's not a circus animal. He's a civilized pup. He's a civilized pup trying to steal that chicharron. Trying to smell if that woman's got some treats. Oh, Melissa, you think it's cold? Yeah, maybe it's colder where you are. You're a little up north. You're a little up north compared to us here. It's not that cold, Bitcoin. It's really not cold. Even if I put the vest on him, he would still be shivering like this. Here, I'll let you guys get here. There, you can have your little what? He's a little precious boy. So yeah, that's my Bitcoin. That's the only Bitcoin I hold on to. And I hold tight. I hold tight. Yeah, he's got a good physique. Talking about fitness. He's like 9 years old in human years. Nine human. Oh. Yeah, but he stays super fit and he eats like he's got Beagle in him. You can see his ears. He's got Beagle in him, so he's super like food motivated. But for some reason, he stays so skinny, so thin. But we do walk a lot. Like earlier today, we went for like a 3-mile hike or 3-mile walk. Oh yeah. He's getting some cheek rubs. All right, Buster. I'll tell you a story, Buster. I'll tell you a story. I'll let this be the Bitcoin show for you guys. Look at his knees like a human kneeling. Yeah, he's a strong. Hey, Mitt. Thanks for stopping by and saying hello, Mitt. All right, Buster. That's so funny because like I don't have any moderator rules in place right now, so I think it's so funny that it's like it's moderating the word rave in chat for you because I don't have any rules set up. Anyway, I'm more than happy to share a rave story with you since you shared yours. Yeah, it's Doggy. This is Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin. Bitcoin, the prized pup. He's part Chihuahua, part Beagle, possibly part Italian Greyhound. All cute. All cute. All right, so rave story. Let's see. The last rave I went to was probably at Burning Man. It was 2019. September 2019. I don't remember any interesting stories from that. Like, I'm not a raver anymore. What's your business in Vegas? So I run a software company called Tlet, tlet.com. Just 2 years ago, yep. And we are a software company. We manage a B2B marketplace in between independent tea farmers and tea business buyers. So tea shop owners, restaurant groups, anybody that's looking to source tea in bulk, we supply direct trade teas for them. Everything is all about transparency, peer-to-peer marketing, and yeah, of course, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin all comes into play as well because we're just trying to find efficiencies through technology to make the international trade of agriculture commodities, more feasible, especially high quality ones. Looks like a Dobby. Is that like a Dobby is like a kind of like Doberman? Melissa says the last time I went to a rave was over 20 years ago. He's like trying to be all kinds of cute over here for you guys. Bitcoin, tell Reddit you love them. Who's that? Oh, that's funny. Dobby from Harry Potter. I completely forgot. He does look like Dobby. Oh, that's funny. He does. He's got those ears. That's so funny. I'm gonna show everybody on Twitch because it's funny. It's funny. That's funny. Oh, Bitcoin. Let's get a Dobby for you guys. No, that's not what I wanted. Which one looks the most like Bitcoin? There. That's the Chinese word for tea is cha. Yeah. Yeah, the dog is like 9 years old. Can the dog drink tea? I think he could, but he doesn't like to. Sometimes he likes to eat the tea. He does look like a Dobby. Look at his skinny little booty. How are you so skinny? You eat so much. Look, he's over here begging for more. Begging for more. Yeah, he's like 9 years old. But he acts just like a baby. Always acting like a baby. Oh. So yeah, back to the rave story. Yeah, I don't know. Is 9 old? I think so. Like, I think he should live for like another 5 years, but like they say what like 9 is, or it's like 7 years to 1 year, human to dogs. So that's like 63. You're in your 60s. Yeah, I think that's older, but he's pretty fit. He's pretty fit for 9 years old. Do we have any dog experts here? Any dog experts gonna verify if Bitcoin's a fit or not? What is fitness? I mean, that's what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about fitness. All right, we'll keep him in frame. I'll just stand over here. What? Don't be shivering. It's not cold. It really isn't. Yeah, so let's not talk about Burning Man rave because that was boring. There's nothing. Yeah, 7 equals 1. So 7 times 9 is 63. So that's pretty old. Oh, Jim, I'm happy to hear that you recovered from that psychedelic trip. Bitcoin's still having issues. He's still... All right, he's got to get his head rubs in. He's getting some head rubs in. Oh, he's such a baby. He's a dolger, dog soldier. I never heard that word before. I would, yeah, he's my little guardian. He's my head of security, you know, I've got to have him. I got to have him muscular and fit. Bitcoin's like, who you calling cute? Who you calling cute? Yeah, you're cute. You're cute. You're cute. Okay. You guys are getting to see him on one. He has his little face. Which tea gives one visions? Well, that would be the blue tea. If someone ever offered... Whoa, Bitcoin, jeez. Get out of here with that shedding. Jeez, Bitcoin. Wow. No, he can't get enough. He wants more. He wants more. Yeah, he is singing. Yeah, the blue tea. If anybody ever hands you a cup of tea and is blue, it's a blue liquid inside, probably got some psilocybin in there. That one's gonna make you have some visions. A real tea does not come out blue, but if it comes out blue, it may have some ground up mushroom in there. Oh man, he really is on one tonight. He's living his best life tonight. Good for you, Bitcoin. Good for you. Can I tell my story now? Why don't I tell a story of when Bitcoin came to a rave with me? Because Bitcoin has actually been to several raves. Maybe that would make for a better story. Speaking of the blue tea, we were at a rave in the desert, in the middle of the desert. So here in Nevada, we have a bunch of desert everywhere, and so it's very easy to pop up a party in the middle of nowhere and have a lot of fun with no one bothering you. And so we were out in this desert property where we could camp. So we made a nice camp tent. Bitcoin came too, because Bitcoin loves to party. Basically, he loves to make friends with people and beg for treats. So yeah, he can do that at a rave. Especially camping rave, because, you know, people bring all their treats and their foods and their snacks and everything. And so we'd set up our tent, and a couple of my friends came in, and they were partaking in some of that blue tea. And so they had all these mushrooms, these little fungi, and they had lost some of it. Or no, they left some on the table in the middle of the tent, and we had left Bitcoin in there to sleep because he was already cold and, you know, basically told us, leave me here. I'll just stay here while you guys go party. I'll wait here. And so we... Yeah, he's super vocal. So we left him cuddled up. Well, okay, so the blue tea will let you see the rabbit hole. You probably won't see exactly how deep it is, you know, and so that's when people typically get themselves on some type of cycle of you regularly journeying down that rabbit hole to see exactly how deep it goes. And I mean, to be honest, I don't have an immense amount of experience with the blue tea. I've got, you know, limited amount of experience, and I can say from my experience, I have definitely never seen the bottom of the rabbit hole. And I have friends that have a lot of experience, and I can't talk from their perspective, but I don't believe that they have either seen the bottom of the rabbit hole. I think that's an elusive thing. Anybody has an opinion on that, please come into chat. Let us know what you think about the bottom of the rabbit hole. Can we ever see the bottom of it? No matter how much DMT that we try, Buster. You're right. He has the cutest permanent grumpy old man face. He does. He's mean mugging all the time. He's just constantly. He's got a little underbite. Show me your underbite, Bitcoin. Come on. Let's show him your underbite. I don't know if you can see. He doesn't want to show you guys. He's being shy. Yes, you got an underbite. You're constantly grumpy face. All right, so we left Bitcoin in the tent, cuddled up warm, while we went out to dance on the dance floor. And then, a few hours later, we decide we're ready to go back to the tent to hang out, warm up. We get to the tent, Bitcoin's still cuddled up in the blankets, but the fungi are missing. The fungi are no longer there. And my brother and his friend were like, oh no, we left it right here on the table. Bitcoin must have ate it. And so then we spent like the next 3 hours completely freaked out that Bitcoin ate all the rest of the mushrooms. And we were so worried for him, but thank goodness it turned out. Bitcoin, there. Look there. Who's there? No, there. There. It turns out someone else had come into the tent and helped themselves. But it was just really funny how Bitcoin got the blame for it. And thank goodness he didn't really eat them, because that would have been a nightmare to deal with this little guy going down the rabbit hole. Because he loves chasing rabbits. If there's one thing this guy loves to do is chasing rabbits, we might have never seen him again. He would have gone so deep down that rabbit hole, running, chasing that elusive white rabbit. Yeah, so that's, Buster, is that satisfactory for you? Is that a satisfactory rave story for you? Yeah, DMT. I don't have a lot of experience with DMT. I know about it. Jim says, fungi helped me and my buddy entertain ourselves for an hour talking about toast. So Feeding Love has something... Feeding Love's got something interesting to say about the rabbit hole. I think this is a little off topic, but that's fine. This is Friday night. We can talk about whatever we want to, because, we're talking about the best life. The rabbit hole is not fixed, so it doesn't exist. That's what Feeling Love says. Bitcoin agrees. Bitcoin agrees. Melissa says toast is delicious. I could probably talk about it for close to an hour without fungi. Oh, this is a different kind of fitness. Yeah. I mean, some would say, there is actually scientific evidence now, and there are governments now that are supporting the scientific research of fungi as a medicinal healing agent for, mental health, dealing with PTSD, dealing with other forms of trauma. So it's possible. We're talking about fitness today. It's possible that, some type of microdosing regimen could be, a part of your fitness. Do you want to eat all the mushrooms? I cannot with this guy. Oh, good. I'm happy you like the rave story. There was a happy ending. That would have been a very sad ending had Bitcoin really eaten all the mushroom. But, oh, so we got someone here on Reddit that says that they microdose mushrooms to battle anxiety. So there you go. Working on your fitness. Working on anxiety is working on your fitness. Fitness is not just about, running 2 miles every day and doing a certain amount of sit-ups and leg lifts like this lady on Twitch is doing here. Man, she's been working out for an hour and a half like this. That's amazing. Now that's fitness. But, yeah, I know the use of fungi as, anti-anxiety stabilizer is really powerful. Bitcoin. So let's see. Our friends on Twitch had something to say about. Oh, here we go. My mouse turned off, guys. Here, I'm back on. All right. Yeah. So Jim, you're in Oregon. You guys did. You guys had it on the Portland ballot last election about including mushrooms and fungi into mental health research. Melissa says, a lot of these things have been discarded as bad options, but could be beneficial. It's true. All right, enjoy your yoga. Thank you so much for joining in tonight. Thank you. Bitcoin and I love you very much. Okay, so we got, so before you're going to yoga, you've dropped some knowledge on us. You say anxiety can stem from inactivity. In the winter, I move less. And so, yeah, that's true. And actually, there's an article I'm going to be looking over very soon from Google Scholar that talks about just that. The connection between activity and physical activity and, mental health. Happiness. Oh, he's just going to get into it with you guys. Bitcoin getting into his yoga now, too. Bitcoin, what are you doing? You're on the live stream. Oh, Buster, you can't use cannabis. Yeah, because cannabis has been shown. Even, but if you get paranoia and anxiety, have you tried out CBD? Have you tried out, even just, hemp products? Not CBD-specific products, but hemp products. This one, I was talking about this one earlier. This is hemp flower that... Bitcoin! We're streaming to the internet right now. You have a lot of people watching you. He doesn't care. Yeah, Melissa. And? Is that the downward dog? Yeah, walking is good for mental health. Yeah, physical activity doesn't have to be, super strenuous. I mean, as you develop a long-standing relationship with physical fitness, you may, find yourself making it more and more. Oh, look, now I told him not to lick his dick, and now he's, trying to be regal as fuck. Look at him. What is this? What kind of animal? What kind of animal is this? He's got two modes. He's got ball licking. Well, sorry, he doesn't have balls. Or he's got regal. Which one are you going to be right now? You going to be regal? Hemp oil in small amounts, cannabis in large doses only. But the cannabis makes you paranoid. I understand that. Especially awkward. I believe you're talking about ayahuasca. Is that what you're talking about? You went down the rabbit hole on ayahuasca? I heard that that's a deep one. Actually, I think the active compound in that root you're talking about is the same DMT that Buster on Twitch was asking about earlier. It's intense. It's an intense hole to fall down. I hope that you came out the other side feeling better and stronger and more fit. Oh my gosh, that must have been so scary. So especially awkward says, I don't know about spiritual, but I did think I was riding the back of a giant anaconda going through some kind of underworld. That sounds crazy. Yeah, Buster, I've never tried this ayahuasca. I've never tried the root. I've never tried this medicine that you're talking about, especially awkward. But I did try DMT once, and it was so fleeting. It was so fast and fleeting, and I have no interest of ever doing it again. Which makes me think I don't know if the ayahuasca medicine would be something that I'd want to pursue as well. Now he's chewing on his foot. This dog. He's chewing on his foot. Yes. Petting one's pet is anxiety lowering. You're right. You're so right. I'm feeling so much anxiety go away. Thank you. Thank you for helping me with my anxiety. Thank you. Keeping it clean. Oh, he's being extra cute for you guys tonight. I don't know what's into him. Are you wanting them to all, like, petition for you to get all the treats? Is that what you want? Yes. Maybe a treat instead of a paw. Bitcoin votes for you, Jim. Bitcoin says, where do I vote? I want to vote for Jim. I want to vote for that guy. That guy's got all the best ideas. You're right. So Melissa says pets are amazing for mental health. Getting one definitely helped me. I agree. Jim, you're just like every other baby kissing politician out there. I'm here for you, Bitcoin. Buster says, I could never try LSD, mushrooms, or DMT. I would get a heart attack. Yeah, it's true. I mean, some people are just not, some people, that's not their medicine. For some people, it is their medicine, and that's cool, too. Tea is the only, like, herb or medicine that I've come across that I believe is for everybody. There are some folks that swear, oh, you know, I can't have tea because of this or that, you know, caffeine or whatever, but, you know, I think there's a lot of misinformation on that front. What? Oh, Bitcoin, you are just so vocal tonight. You're shedding a bunch too. So annoying. Yes, it's so annoying. Too much fur. It won't get you fired if you drug tested at work. Which one are you talking about? Are you talking about all of those? All of the above? And who gets drug tested anymore? I guess there are some places. I think a lot of places here in Las Vegas have stopped. Oh, you're right. Tea. Yeah, tea you won't get drug tested anywhere. Tea won't get you fired, that's for sure. I think even the blue tea. I think psilocybin can be tested. They test for psilocybin. What do you want? What do you want now? I don't have anything. I have nothing. I've got nothing. Yeah, you're right. People are still drug testing. I guess I haven't looked for a job in a really long time. I think the last time I like had to take a drug test was in 2006. 2008. No, 2008. Yeah, the music has definitely chilled out. I started out with it pretty peppy because I was talking about fitness, you know, and I like to listen to like really dirty, bassy techno house music. What? You're gonna cause everything to knock down. You're gonna fall too. Do you want to fall? I don't know what you're doing this for. You just want to sit close to me? It's fine. Here, I'll keep you warm. Is that what you want? Is that what you want? I haven't seen this lady slow down yet, man. She's been doing this for close to 2 hours now. She must be ripped. Alright, I'm gonna look that movie up, Buster, because I don't know. There was another movie with Green in it. What was it called? Green Inferno, and that movie was terrible. So I'm not gonna promote this movie unless I see it's a good movie. Hey, Bitcoin, quiet. Yeah, I don't see this as a movie. I just see the movie Anaconda, which I do remember with J-Lo. That was a pretty scary one. Yeah, I don't know, Buster. I don't know what movie that is. Oh, it's not a movie. Yeah, Melissa, do not watch Green Inferno. It's terrible. Oh, it's a silly clip. Is it like a YouTube clip? Oh my gosh, Bitcoin, okay. So, TribeNet asks, which infuser bottle do you suggest for tea? You know, anyone will work. You know, sometimes I'll make cold brew tea just in a normal water bottle. And if you're cold brewing it, you don't have to put boiling water into it. You can just put the room temperature water and let it steep in the bottle like that. Yes? Why don't you just lie down comfortably? Yeah, I see you. I see you. You're doing your little, you know, when the dog goes in the circle and circle and circle. But yeah, you should try cold brewing. Cold brewing your tea just in a normal water bottle. Oh, Bitcoin does not recommend that. He's a ham. It's a video clip. Is it a scary, Buster, is it a scary video clip? Scary YouTube video? I see there was a viral song around it. Is that it? Is that it, Buster? Is the song? It was like a cartoon, an animated song. Jim, you're right. Yeah, you can cold brew your tea just in a regular water bottle. You could just put your tea leaf in the water bottle with the water that's already in there. And Bitcoin, I'm going to let you go down. I have nothing for you. You cannot eat that treat. That's a special treat. We already ate a whole bunch of food right before I started streaming. I don't know what else you want. I got nothing else here for you. I've got nothing. We got nothing. Come on. You didn't enjoy your poke early? He ate like a half of a poke bowl to himself right before we started streaming. Yeah, he's got his eye on that treat. That's for sure. All right, Melissa, we'll be here. Get that kettle on. I think I'm going to start looking at that research. Oh, you're kind of drunk? Good. What have you been drinking? What have you been drinking, thinny boy? What have you been drinking? You've been drinking some wine? You've been drinking some beer? All right, Big One, I'm going to let you down because you're being a little too vocal. I want to focus. I want to focus. I got some libation here. Speaking of Best Life Friday, it's like it doesn't exist though. It's an empty bottle. Don't worry. There's nothing here. Good Day lychee flavored soju. Korean rice wine. Or no, I think it's made with potatoes. It's vodka. It's made with potatoes. It's not rice wine. But I figured this would be appropriate. Good Day for Best Life Fridays. You're right, Jim. I need to restock up on all of the treats for him because, yeah, he knows. You're right. He's trained to know that anytime he comes up here, he's going to get a treat. If he's a good boy. Which you've been a good boy. Don't worry, you're going to get treats when we get home. I got treats at the house. But what's the alcohol on this one? 12.5%. So it's not super strong. You don't ever have to say no to tacos if you don't want to. PSA of the day. You don't have to say no to tacos if you don't want to. I have had mead. I love mead. Mead is good. Nice, sweet. I've actually had tea mead. So there is a winery on the Big Island in Hawaii. They also grow tea, the Camellia sinensis plant. And when they process their black tea, they will use the black tea and infuse their mead with it. And they use the local honey from their garden. And it's really good. It tastes a little bit like, it's dangerous because it just is so sweet and yummy that you can easily drink the whole bottle to yourself and so like easy to drink. Oh, you like gin and tonics, Buster? Wow. Damn, fur everywhere. Let's see, where's my cup? I've got my cup for drinking my Good Day lychee flavored soju. This one's mildly sweet. Ultimately, it's a vodka, but it's flavored with lychee. So it's more of like the aroma of the lychee. Like smelling it right now, it's like really fruity. It's good. Yeah, so at 14.5% alcohol, drinking, this small cup may not do much for me. Drinking this whole bottle may. I don't know. I've drank that much so far. I'm not feeling too litty. I usually don't like sweet drinks either. I like beer. That's my favorite. But actually the store that I went to, the Korean market that I went to was not selling beer. They were only selling soju. I don't usually drink soju, but I decided to try it this time. Mead warms me up. I drink it where I'm camping in the cold. Are you camping in the cold right now? I'd like to go camping. I haven't gone camping in a bit. I was doing a lot of camping during the summer. Going to California coast, camping on the beach, waking up to the surf. That's the way. I'm not too much of a big fan of cold camping, especially with this dog. I mean, you saw him like he was shivering, freezing while he was standing up here. You can only imagine how he is when we're out and about in the snow. I took him on a road trip. We went on a road trip in October, go visit our tea friend in South Dakota, and we got caught up in a pretty heavy snowstorm. And that was cold for Bitcoin. Yeah, we got snowed in the middle of nowhere in Wyoming. Thank goodness we went to a town that has a hot spring. So that was nice. Sitting in the hot spring with the snow packed up around you. That was really nice. I do like to hike. I love to hike. I do love to hike. And milk tea. I have tried milk tea. Milk tea has its place in my life. You know, I actually don't really consider milk tea tea. I consider it more of like a decadent dessert. But I do like it. Any type, actually. It's not so much about the tea, just like high tea. High tea is not so much about the tea. It's more about like the experience, the ambiance, the food. And milk tea is more about like the flavors and the sweetness and the decadence of it than it is about the tea. Do you ever make tea with plants you find out in the wild? Well, yeah. So you can wild harvest different herbs and make tisanes out of that. But actually, one time when I was in Nepal visiting some tea growers that I work with there, we were hiking in the mountains to go to the next village over. And I saw some big wild tea trees just off the side of the road. And they said, oh yeah, sometimes the birds will take seeds from the tea farm, and when they're moving around, they'll drop them in different places. And so we'll randomly get these wild tea bushes. And they'll just grow. And it's just like junk to us. You know, it's like a weed. But I've harvested. And we made white tea, and it was really good. And we surprised all the farmers. The farmers were like, what? This is actually really good quality. We're like, yeah, like those wild tea bushes are actually very good. You guys should actually be taking care of those and trying to like integrate this into your production processes. That's funny. Jim says you should have hooked that woman to a generator and powered your stream. Yeah, she keeps going, doesn't it? She just keeps going. All right, yeah, if you guys want to see the fun, we're currently streaming to Twitch. I stream to Twitch 5 days a week. I come to Reddit once a week, so this is, you know, my special night on Reddit with you guys. But if you want to join the Twitch community, please feel free to do so at this link. My handle is TLetT. I only stream tea, have, you know, a pretty diverse schedule of content that we go over. On Mondays, I have a segment called Dignified Hospitality. On Tuesdays, we do live improvised art and tea, of course. On Wednesdays, I do a Constitution study group. On Thursday, we have a live interactive session in our virtual tea room, which you can join in. You can join the live tea party and drink tea with us. And then, of course, on Fridays, I stream what I call Best Life Fridays, where we talk about how we can find our own path to the best life, to our happiness, to whatever we consider to be the best for us. And today's theme is fitness. We're talking about fitness. I do love tea. Not only do I love tea, I just love, like, living good. You know what I mean? Like, it feels good to live good. It feels good to be friendly. It feels good to be social. It feels good to know that the work that you're doing is only bettering the world. And that's what I'm passionate about. That's what I love. And you know what? Tea totally encompasses that entire lifestyle. So here I am. Here I am. I like this. getting a little exotic, the music. We're going on to a safari. All right, let's go look at some infographics. Dab. I don't do dabs. You dab? Are you talking about like the dance dab? I don't do that either. I don't know. I'm just like, I'm not into it. Just like, I don't really do like lo-fi or, yeah, I don't really like to do things. You don't dab. Do people dab still? Is that still a thing? Oh, good, Jim. I'm happy to hear that you're enjoying yourself. You know, just because I'm sitting here drinking tea, I'm also drinking some libation too. So cheers. Cheers, Jim. Oh, that's funny. So you're talking about like the dance dab? Yeah. Buster asked, what the hell is a dab? So I don't know. I might be corrected when I say this, but like a dab is like it's a way of consuming cannabis with the like highly concentrated what is that? Is this a freaking shatter? Or it's like concentrated oil of the cannabis. And you like superheat it. You have to use like a torch to superheat it, and then you inhale the vapors from that. And so you have to use like a special apparatus. You don't use like a normal pipe or bong. You have to use a dab rig. And it's super strong. It's like a very strong hit of cannabis when you take it. I'm not a fan of it. You know, I'll be honest. I've tried a dab before, and I feel like my eyeballs and my teeth are falling out of my face. So that's the original dab. Now, what was requested of me to do a dab was the dance move, which is like shatter will wreck your camp. That's funny. Then there's the dance move dab, which many people claim are not connected, but they're freaking connected, because like they're like, oh no, the dab dance move, which is as Thinny Boy here has described. He says, well, putting your forehead into your elbows seems easier. So that's the dab. And I'm not going to do it because I'm not basic like that. Nothing wrong with being basic, but like that's just not what I like doing. But that's like a popular dance move that like football players started doing. And I believe that like it was popularized in several different video games. And so like even children, you'll see children doing the dab. It's like a cool move that people do. And so people say they're not connected, but they're totally connected, because it's like when you take a dab hit, when you take a dab, like the cannabis dab I just talked about, it's so strong. Danny Boy says Abraham Lincoln dabbed when he was inaugurated. Yeah. So like when football players get a touchdown, like that was popular for a little while. Like they would dab to celebrate. And so yeah, Thinny Boy here just said Lincoln did it when he was inaugurated. But they say it's not connected. But it's like the dab hit is so strong that it like makes you cough. You know, it's so strong. And so that's what the dab is. It's like coughing into your elbow. I don't know. If you want to like argue against that, like I'm holding the space right here, right now. Let's Buster, that's just wrong. Thinny boy, you've never made that connection before? That's what I always thought. When I started seeing kids doing the dab, and like I'd see like my friends that have young kids, they'd be posting videos of their kids dabbing. I'd be like, you know what they're doing, right? Like, I always thought it was deeply connected. And there's a couple of websites, a couple of blogs where they've made that connection, but then there's like other people that are adamantly like, no, there's no connection between cannabis and... I'm not an expert on weed or dance culture, though. That's funny. Yeah, no dab in here. No dab in here. Sorry. I'll do other dance moves. I'm not really good at specific dance moves like floss. Those things I'm not good at. I have not had coca tea. I'd be interested. I've never done any product or consumed any product related to the coca plant. Just because I don't, first and foremost, like the people that I have seen to be users of products of the coca plant, I haven't, ever felt inspired that I want to be like them. So that's one thing. And then the other thing is, like, if you look at the business, the industry, and specifically cocaine, which is like the main product that gets out into the world from the coca plant, I'm not into supporting that, like not one bit, not one interest. So I've never done it. I've been exposed to it, certainly been exposed to it. Had the opportunity and just not interested. I was a lot like Kratom. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, and I've never done Kratom either. Although I'm aware of Kratom, and it's, can I make a Bitcoin tea? Like a tea for my dog? Or, I don't know. I sell tea for Bitcoin, if you're interested in that. All right, so I want to get a little studious again. I found this infographic here. Well, now, Buster, you know what a dab is. And not only do you know what the dab is, you know both meanings of dab. So consider yourself woke. Oh, good question. A tea for my dog. I don't think that dogs like tea. I've tried with Bitcoin. He won't drink any of it, but he will like eat the tea leaf sometimes. But I don't think that there's a way to make tea for dogs, unfortunately. All right, so you're asking an easy to get fancy tea. I don't know what fancy means. But anything beyond a tea bag is going to be fancier than a tea bag. Pretty sure. I mean, there are some companies that are going above and beyond to put higher quality tea into a tea bag, but it's actually quite difficult to put good quality tea into a tea bag just because the bag is so small, and usually good quality tea is like full leaf, and so it's hard to stuff the full leaf into a small little nut sack. He meant fancy. Yeah, so pretty much anything not in a tea bag generally is going to be better quality than what's in a tea bag. Well, that's funny, Jim, because Jim says long ago, I remember the phrase, a little dab will do ya. But that was for a hair product. That same statement is used by chronic cannabis dab users. It's like an inside joke. Dab will do ya. A little dab will do ya. Because if you're not accustomed to dabs, like taking one dab hit is more than enough to knock you out. Just like I said, the one time I tried it, I felt like my eyeballs and my teeth individually were all falling out of my face. It was like that intense. I felt like the cannabis like completely absorbed itself in all of my body and then like went in between all of my like eyeballs and my teeth, and it was almost painful. Which one are you referring to? The painting? I don't think there's anything there. Yeah, water's good. Yabba dabba doo. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I've got a spider here. Are you talking about that on the ceiling? Maybe you can't see that. That's just the hole in the ceiling. Which I don't even know how that hole got there. But there's a hole in my ceiling. But, no, yeah, I don't think there's any spiders in here. Okay, so I found this infographic about the science of fitness. I'm going to look at it. And we'll see. What? We got rated? Rated? Who's rating us? Who's rating us? Oh man, I gotta get back outside. Where are we going? See, my mouse is all dead. Oh my god, I can't even see. Who's rated us? T-Fens! Oh, T-Fens! Welcome to the tea table. Thank you so much for coming and joining us. Pure aloha, much love to you guys. All the tea love. Yes! Friday night, woo! Drinking some show pour. Feeling good. Listening to some pretty high energy music. We're talking about fitness today. What's it mean to you? We've been sitting here for about 3 hours, and this lady over here is like really showing us what fitness means to her. She won't even accept the cup of tea I keep trying to give her. Zealousy, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Oh, man. Yeah, let me know, guys. What does fitness mean to you? What does fitness mean? I've never done kratom tea. I just said that. I've never done coca tea. I've never done kratom tea. She's going hard. Good to see you too, tea friends. Thank you so much for coming by. I'll show you guys my tea. I'm in about my 5th steep of this beauty here. This is a, I believe it's a this is a 2009 show pour, small batch show pour from Nanoshan and Jushanbana, Yunnan, China. Yeah, small batch. So the producer that makes this tea, Li Shulin, which if you guys like to drink the really good pu'er teas from Steve Odell, we're friends with the same producer. So Steve may even sell this exact tea. I'm not too sure if he does. Oh yeah, T-Fens is in Portland. Our friend Jim here, he's in Portland, yep. Yeah, so this is some of his, but what's unique about Mr. Lee and his family is that they are the first ones to really innovate the concept of small batch shoe pour. Because usually this is done in like very large factories. You need at least 3 tons of finished tea to process one batch, which means the sourcing of the tea is going to be pretty random and homogenized. And then, you know, with like the sanitary standards and things that are different there than they are here, there is, you know, kind of a chance of the wrong things getting inoculated into the tea and making off flavors. And so that's why a lot of times when people experience shoe pour, they will feel like it's fishy, or they'll say they don't like it because it's not good. And it's usually related to that issue. Kind of like this music. I'm gonna turn it up. We'll listen to some drum synth. Hell yeah, it's Friday night. Well, T-Fens, you are fortunate. Most people are not that fortunate. Most people have their first experience with shoe puer, you know, from like a boba shop. I mean, that's probably the worst place to have your first experience with like fine tea or high quality tea, because typically a boba shop is not able. It's not that they don't want to, it's just they're not really able to do mindful high quality sourcing in their tea. Oh, T-Fens, your internet went out? Your power for 3 days you were out? Oh my goodness. I am so happy to hear that you're back online. And oh man, 3 days. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. In Vegas, we've been so blessed. We've been enjoying beautiful weather here. Couldn't have asked for better weather over the past week, but I know for a lot of the rest of the country, it's not that way. So I'm happy to hear you got your internet back. My brother is in Austin. A lot of tea friends are in Austin. So it's been kind of traumatizing hearing about their experiences. All right, I'm going to come back and catch up. Atlas Brood, thank you so much for the howdy. I like that one. I don't get many howdies in Twitch, so it always feels good to yeah, Melissa Kratom. I know I shouldn't speak on your behalf, but I don't think that's your medicine. You can research it. Research it. You're smart. You're a smart lady. I know you'll find some good information. You'll find some good information on it. But it's become kind of a popular treatment for a lot of traumas. But it's also become a recreational thing as well. But when Kratom was first gaining popularity, it was heavily marketed as a treatment for like opioid withdrawals. Now it's being advocated for a treatment for a lot of types of anxieties or other disorders. But it is like technically illegal to import Kratom, but it's not illegal to sell it. So that's kind of like a weird thing. It's like, if we can't legally import it, how is it being sold? So it's like illegally being smuggled in. So the business is a little sketch. Oh, you just shared Steve's a sticker on your stream. Cool. I don't have any stickers of his. I don't. I should ask him for. What does the sticker look like? I'll look it up online. Brian. She's still going at it, Brian. Look at her. She keeps going. It's crazy. I'm like, I came over to the park and I was like, hey, can I set up my tea table over here? You're going to be cool. Like, I'm not going to disturb you. I mean, actually, I think your workout's pretty inspiring. Can I put you in frame? And she's like, oh yeah, no problem. I've been here the past couple of hours. She keeps going, man. Her abs must be ripped. Imperfect Beaver, matcha tea is the best tea. You know what? I agree with you. Someone earlier in the stream asked me my favorite tea. My favorite tea is all shaded green teas from Japan, and that includes matcha. Where do I buy my tea? Well, you know, don't really buy tea. I have a business where I import tea from small family farms. You can go there. teaanditspeople.com. teaanditspeople.com. Go visit my website. Chat. I'm going to give you my website. And then I'm going to go look up Steve's sticker because I want to see what all the hype's about. Yeah, I can't see one online. I see a different image. Breathe easy, speak teasy. What sketch? Oh, yeah, I know that one. Empires will fall, but steam will arise. She's gonna cramp. No, she did. She did a proper stretching regimen before she started. You know, I saw her. She was out there doing the washer machine. You know, she was she was getting it. And Melissa, she's like, the internet is watching. I can't stop. That's like Bitcoin when he was sitting up here licking his private parts. Oh, the internet's watching. I've gotta do it more. Oh, cool. Atlas Brood. You're a longtime tea drinker. Do you stream, Atlas? Do you stream tea? Before you go, Atlas, let me know. Do you stream tea? Steam needs to rise. You don't stream, you just steam. I've got the steam rise in here in my magical large size teacup back there. Oh, you like a lemon and ginger in your tea. I like that too. All right, Jim. All right, Jim. Let's get something else going on here. I can tell you're not liking the fitness. I still want to talk about that article though. We're still gonna talk about that article, but now I'll just trip you out before you go to bed, just like Tuesday. Poor guy, Jim. He was having trouble getting to sleep on Tuesday because my art stream was tripping him out too much. Man, everybody is talking about the Kratom today. No, I don't use Kratom. It's not my medicine. If it's your medicine, more power. More power. Well, Atlas, we'll see you around. Thank you so much for joining tonight. Love you. Love you very much. Oh, good question. Someone asked, I really like Ito. And by the way, Twitch, I love you guys. You may be wondering, who is she talking to? I am also streaming to Reddit. On Friday nights, I stream to Reddit. That's the only time I stream to Reddit. So Reddit, you guys are here. You're enjoying my Friday night. Oh, thank you, Atlas. Thank you. I'll see you at the tea table next time. Rest well. See you next time. Much love. Foster on Reddit says, I really like Ito-en Oicha bottled green tea. What tea would you recommend for me? Well, funny story, I was sharing my tea story of how I got into tea. And I started out as a food scientist, and then I got a job in a green tea factory, which was Ito-en. And Ito-en Oicha was my first tea I ever drank. It was my first experience in tea. I was quality control supervisor in that factory for 2 years. And here's the saddest part. Oh, thank you, Atlas Brood. Thank you. I appreciate you too so much. How do I get a hold of you, Atlas? Let me know. If you don't stream and you don't spend a lot of time on Twitch, let me know how I can get a hold of you, because I've always got crazy tea questions. My life is tea. Everything about my existence is about tea. So, yeah, I'd love to send some tea questions your way. But yeah, here's the crazy thing. I worked at Itoen as their quality control supervisor for... We're better than Twitch. That's why I'm here for you guys. I've been a Redditor since 2012. Zealousy can find you? Well, I want to find you too. I'm in Vegas. We've got a whole empire, a whole breed of empire fallen here. And you know, steam right here, right behind me, rising all the time. But yeah, I'll get in touch with Zealousy and T-Fence to get in touch with you. I like your mysteriousness, Atlas. Are you a tea master? But yeah, I worked at Itoen for 2 years. And the entire 2 years that I worked there and was supposed to be a expert on all of the quality of this tea product, I didn't even know what Camellia sinensis was. The plant that tea comes from, I didn't even know. And so like that statement in itself says everything that's wrong with big food and with our, you know, big food system. Oh, thank you, Atlas. Thank you for the good response to my question. I guess it was a trick question I gave you. But you've answered it quite satisfactorily. Thank you for that. Aww. Thanks, Zoot. Thank you. Love you so much. Oh, thank you for the 44 seconds. I'm going to do a little dance, dance, dance. Dance, dance, dance. Dance, 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 dance. I'm on one tonight, man. This tea has got me on one. My belly full, too. I ate like a big old poke bowl before starting. It's, you know, also a good day. Got a little... Yeah, it's like nothing. It's like I'm not drinking anything, you know? Lychee flavored soju. 44 seconds. So I'm streaming to Reddit, and Reddit actually has, well, now it's a 3-hour limit. It used to only be like a 40-minute limit to stream, but now it's 3 hours. They give you 3 hours. But if somebody's enjoying your stream, they can give you extra time. So someone just gave me 44 extra seconds. That's 44 more seconds for me to talk about my love of tea. Yes. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, no, Atlas, it's really important, your answer. So I asked Atlas if he's a tea master, or she. I'm sorry if I misgendered you, so sorry. I asked if they are a tea master, and where's the link on Reddit? So, yeah, you can come pizza time. Who is tea? Are you gonna ask stupid questions like that, guys? Come on. You have to ask a question like that. Tea will be your worst nightmare. It was the free silver award Reddit gave to give out. Oh, cool. I guess Melissa knows more about Reddit than I do. I'm going to put my Reddit profile up. There. Now, chat, you guys got it. You can go find my Reddit profile. I'm active on Reddit. I used to be a lot more active than I am now. Hey, B Brewer. Much love. Oh, that was you, Mos. Here I am thinking that Reddit loves me and it's just my friend Melissa. Well, you know, I love you all the same, Melissa. I love you all the same. Man, fluoride? You want to bring up fluoride? That's like a whole stream in itself. I'm no expert. I've never definitely gotten any blood levels tested, but I am conscious of it. I'm very conscious of it because I do believe. How many individuals are watching on Reddit? Oh, yes, someone just gave me 35 seconds. Oh, you give hugs. Oh, Bieber. Bitcoin, come here, boy. We gotta give some hugs. Bitcoin. T-Friends, you're here now. Yes. Bitcoin gets hugs. He got the hug reward. He gets hugs. Everybody gets hugs. So yeah, there's 12 people on Reddit right now. 10, 12. It's everywhere. Aw. Thank you for the hugs. B. Oh, is that you? Is that you, Atlas? Are you B? Are you B Brewer? B Brewer 1? Well, thank you for the hugs, B. Bitcoin says thank you too. He loves the hugs. It was a free thing I got from Reddit. That's cool. If you guys haven't met my buddy, my best friend, my colleague, B.I. I'm sorry I call you B.I. Brewer. B.I. Brewer. This is my buddy Bitcoin. He's my best friend. He streams with me. As soon as I turn affiliate on, he'll be managing all the bits. So, if you got the bits, you're going to have to deal with him on the bits. I don't know when I'm going to turn affiliate on. I'm still game planning. I'm game planning content and scheduling and how I want to go about it because I like not showing commercials. And I want to keep it that way as long as I can. What? How'd you know he has stinky breath? Bitcoin. They could tell over the internet that you have bad breath, boy. Anyway. No, my dog is fine. I brush his teeth. But yeah, little dogs like that, they have teeth problems. It's true. You gotta brush the teeth more. Well, if anybody got any question, well, my question is what is your connection with tea? Do you specialize in any sort of tea? Don't all 9-year-old dogs have bad breath? Yeah, I guess so. Atlas, what do you specialize in any kind of tea? You are tea. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend brushing the cat's teeth. I know that's a bit more challenging than the dog. Atlas, you are tea. I know tea really well. And I've never had a conversation with, I mean, I guess I have had conversation with tea before, but not like text. I've never had tea be able to articulate its communication with me through text on Twitch. So it's cool. I appreciate you answering my question. Yeah, brushing the teeth, yeah. Even for a cat, do you think? I am on Twitch. Tea-Lit Tea. Follow my channel. If you guys enjoy Twitch, I mean, I enjoy coming on Reddit. I have no intentions of stopping Reddit. I love coming to Reddit. I love the rawness of it. I love that, like, I know I can stream to Reddit, like, from my computer, but I love streaming, like, raw from my phone to Reddit because it's, like, more of, like, a behind-the-scenes vibe than what gets broadcasted to Twitch. But Twitch is certainly fun. Lots of fun. All right, I'm here to talk about fitness. Like, I know I've been kind of like dancing. Cool. That's cool that T-Fens and Zealousy both know you. I just recently became acquainted with them, so that's cool. Yeah, Zealousy, I think I first came across T-Fens must have been rating you, and that's how I got to your channel. But then, like the next week, I was talking to my friend Mike, who runs a blog called Tea Letter, and he was like, hey, do you know Zealousy? And I was like, yeah, I just started following him on Twitch. Oh, by the way, Zealousy, how was your meeting with Mike? Did you guys have a productive meeting together? I always like talking with him. Oh, T-Fens, I am so happy that we met too. Oh, I love you. All right, Jim, blame it on the community. No, it's okay. Oh, you guys had a Chinese New Year party. Oh, cool. Awesome. I didn't get to really have a party too much. I usually serve tea for like a really popular foodie event, like our token James Beard nominated chef here in town. Is him and his wife are Taiwanese American, and they always host an epic like 7-course dinner, and they invite me to serve tea for it. So who is Phil? Are you talking about Old Ways Tea? And you guys met, Mike met with you there too? And is Atlas for Phil? Is this like an indirect way of... All right, I gotta, oh, cool, awesome. Well, Phil, it's nice to meet you. I am me. Oh, you're not Phil. You are you. Okay. Well, not Phil. Atlas. I do have a tea question for you. I got an odd tea question for you that not many tea people have been able to answer for me. So maybe you can answer it for me. And this is about grafting, right? So grafting is a very popular technique. Grafting is a very popular technique in fruit tree production. And a couple of years back, I was thinking about, you know, why there isn't more grafting happening in tea. And so that's my question for you. Like, what applications of grafting have you seen in tea production? Yeah, I'd like to hear your perspective on that. Oh, you're not knowledgeable in cultivation. Well, that's like the most important part of tea. I say that because, you know, like with the very powerful teas, very high value teas in the world that are like highly cherished and highly valued, the depth of the roots is very important. And so that's related to my question, is that like if depth of roots is so important, yet the character of the tree will evolve, or even the preferences of the market will evolve, then I think grafting could be a very interesting application. And actually, I have seen grafting. I have seen some. And it's really ironic because the last time that I was in Yunnan and I was walking around the tea mountain with the maker of this tea, Mr. Lee, and I was asking him about grafting, and he told me, oh, I've never heard of it. I would hope so, Atlas. I would hope so. A good chef would know. They would know that stuff. He had told me he had never heard of grafting, first of all, so that was understandable. But then he told me it's never been used in tea. And he understood. He was like, that makes sense. That makes sense about, you know, the importance of the depth of our roots and then being able to graft on the particular flavors that we want. I think, okay, so yeah, T-Fens, I think any age, like you showed me a photo of your tree, you could certainly graft that tree. I think you could. Like if you got like a different plant variety that you did know you liked, but you already know that the tree you had, which you said came from seed stock, which is incredible. It's like roots, like the depth of roots is really incredible. And you can only get that from the seed grown plant, not from the clonal plant. So you have that, but then you could take a clonal plant that you want that specific character from and graft that onto your seed stock. That's possible. I think your tree is big enough to do that. But no, it's funny because I was walking with the farmer and I was telling him this and he was like, no, I never seen it before. And like, boom, like right then I saw like an old tree, like it certainly had been pruned because it was like not much taller than we were, but very large base of the tree. So you could tell it was a very old tree. And it had like plastic wrappings on several of the branches. And I was like, oh, that's it. That's it. And he was like, oh, I'd never seen that before. And I'm like, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to graft it on. But anyway, I was always curious with donsongs, donsongs that have a very strong huigan to them, like a very strong qi, balanced qi, you can tell is coming from a deep rootstock. Like you can tell it's coming from a deep rootstock from that character of the tea, yet it's so like pinpoint characteristic in its aroma display that it's like, how is this possible? And some of my friends that live in Wudong were posting some videos of work they were doing out in their patches of tea trees. And they were grafting. They were grafting. And then that made sense. And then I asked them, I'm like, what are you doing? They're like, oh, well, this is how we change the variety of tea we want to make. So they are using the same rootstock that they've had, and they may rotate to a different particular tea as they please. All right, I'm going to catch up. It's difficult to graft Camellia sinensis because of the fact that the tea plant has high tannin content, compact stem tissue, and delayed callus formation. Tea fans, congratulations. I think I saw that. I dropped into your stream last week when you were drinking tea outdoors. Actually, yeah, I rated you, and you showed the your sprouted tea seed. Congratulations. Tea grafting is more prevalent in Japan. It started in the 1900s. And, I lived in Japan for about 6 months. That's where I first learned about tea. I didn't see any grafting there. I didn't see any seed stock either. Everything was clonal, but I didn't see everything. I've heard that there's quite a few places that have good seed stock still, but none of the places that I was hanging out in. Oh yeah, so you were thinking of the air layering, which is actually a very good way to propagate out clones from your plant. It's very effective. Actually, I have a video, T-Fens, I can send you that I took from the Big Island in Hawaii, where they've set up a pretty successful air layering program for their mother bushes. But yeah, grafting is when you attach like a different genetic material, to your rootstock. It's more used in Japan and China, and not older tea plants, in my opinion. But I saw it in Yunnan. They were trying it out. I guess. Okay, let's see. Let's go look at this video of the air layering. I send it to you. We could just watch it right now.
See, some of these are so bad, you just wrap sphagnum moss around that and then seal it with tin foil. It will eventually root, and then we'll cut the branch underneath the cut with the tin foil, and we'll take the tin foil off and plant it, because it will have roots, and it will be a nice sized plant already. So that's why we find that doing air layers, I don't know if you can see all the air layers on this one, that we're trying to get as many air layers as possible.
You want to watch that again? Let's watch it again.
See, some of these are so bad.
Look at this. Okay, come on, guys. Come on. Seriously. Seriously. What is this? Look at this guy. He's like walking us through his tea garden. You see this in the background? This is the friggin' ocean. Gorgeous.
So we're selecting tea plants that are really great. We're pruning this particular plant right here. That's why we're letting it grow out.
Yeah, it's a persimmon.
What we do is you score the branch, and then wrap sphagnum moss around that, and then seal it with tin foil. It will eventually root, and then we'll cut the branch underneath the cut with the tin foil, and we'll take the tin foil off and plant it, because it will have roots, and it will be a nice sized plant already. So that's why we find that doing air layers, I don't know if you can see all the air layers on this one, that we're trying to get as many air layers as possible.
So that's it. All the layers. Get them all. Get all the air layers. Oh, sorry, guys. Yeah, they have beautiful plants there. Onamea, that's Onamea Tea Garden. They actually do like tours, and they are very friendly and knowledgeable in helping sharing their information. So T-Fens, if you ever find your way going to the Big Island, or you're going to go to Hawaii on vacation, I highly recommend that you reach out to them. Onamea. That whole area right there, like the water where he is, like the water behind where he is, that's the Onamea Bay. And that's off the Hamakua coast near the Hilo side of the Big Island. All right, so Jim dropped some knowledge for us. And by the way, Atlas, thank you so much for hanging out in the tea room with us and sharing so much knowledge and getting that cool conversation going. That's like pretty much the oddest question that I have about tea that I've been asking every tea master, tea grower, tea expert about is about the grafting. Because I think it may be more prevalent than we think. That's my theory of Dansong. And they just call it something else. So Jim says, from a tea research journal, the grafting propagation of tea plant has been thought to be worthless to practice for its difficulties. The reason why the grafting is so difficult is concluded that the tea plant has high tannin content and compact stem tissue and delayed callus formation. That's interesting. So yeah, Google is great. Everybody can find the same information with Google. But the most important factor is discovery by this investigation. It is not above mentioned factors, but the humidity. The grafting could succeed with covering the scion by polyethylene bag after the operation. And also controlling tannin production. Interesting thing about tannins I learned recently is the biological processes of tannin production, not just in tea, but in all plants, was only discovered in 2016. Just 5 years ago. Before that, scientists, biologists, everybody had no idea like how tannin was produced, why it was produced, where it was produced. It was just kind of assumed that it was produced within the chloroplast. But now they've actually recognized the actual organelle. Like it's a whole own organelle called I forget the name of it. And so now that they've discovered that and the processes that stimulate tannin production, you can control things. And they found that tannin production is a protection mechanism against UV and pests. So if you shade the plants and make sure that there's no pests there to like threaten and harm the plant to stimulate the production of tannins, that you could actually reduce the amount of tannins. And that's why matcha and gyokuro are so, savory and sweet, because they're shaded for so long. There's less tannin production. Yeah, maybe someone wants to keep the grafting success low key. I really do think so. I think that that's the secret of Dansang. I honestly think it, and no one wants to talk about it. It's well known in the tea community that the texts and the knowledge about tea and tea production in China is very exclusive. It stays within families, like even within the village of Wudong. And the growing area of Wudong Mountain, where Dansang comes from, where, the Phoenix Mountain oolongs come from, is a very small area. There's not a lot of tea being produced there. There are not a lot of tea farmers producing tea there. Now, there is a lot of tea being produced, throughout the area, far beyond, the Wudong area. The Wudong area is like this, and then like Dansang, Phoenix Mountain goes miles and miles and miles and miles. And that's all like hardcore monoculture production. But in that Wudong area, even within those families, those few families are there, they have secrets within each other of like what their production is special for them, Hey Logan, how's it going? Much love to you. We're talking about tea. We're talking about fitness. Talking about fitness. All right, this is totally in line. I know I was like low-key complaining earlier about getting off topic, but now I realize we were on topic the whole time. We're talking about fitness, right? And like, of course, I was hanging out earlier with the lady that kept doing the leg lifts. Hours. Jeez. I don't know how she did it. And in our lit review of fitness, came to find out that fitness doesn't necessarily only mean physical exercise or, health, physical health. Fitness is also biological. In a primal sense, fitness is related to our capacity to pass on our genetics. And, it's interesting. And so grafting, the whole idea of grafting is all about fitness. So you take the rootstock. Oh, tea friends, thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for the raid today. We'll tea you next time. Have a great night. Rest well. Enjoy your weekend. Oh, I'm happy that you are great, Logan. I'm also pretty great. It's Friday night. Have a little bit of a party. So in the idea of grafting, you are taking the top performing rootstock that is fit for your environment, fit for your terroir, fit for you. It's the best. It's going to succeed. It's going to be resilient. That is fitness. And, if that rootstock is not producing for you what you want, then you can graft what you want. It's kind of like I guess it could be compared to like plastic surgery or something, if you're talking about your own personal fitness, is like, I want to tweak something so that I can better fit into society, or I can better fit into, what would make me a more successful procreator in this world, I guess. I know I'm stretching that meaning, but fitness is much more than just our physical activity. And even if you do think of it in terms of physical activity, at the end of the day, even being physical fit is related to our fitness of passing on our genes. You lift for 3 hours every morning, and you've done this for the past 6 years? 3 hours of lifting? Dang, Jim, I think our friend on Reddit here is like, he's on the same level of our friend doing the leg lifts out there. Crazy. Yeah, I was talking earlier about my own personal fitness lifestyle that I've acquired. It's only been for the past 4 years. Prior to that, I was too focused on my career. I was too focused on that part of my life. And yeah, only for the past 4 years, I've like intentionally like made a sustainable lifestyle to focus on my fitness. And it's great. I feel good about it. I exercise regularly through the week and increase my intensity of my exercise constantly. And so, yeah, now I can go out for a 10-mile run. You know, it might take me an hour and a half, but it's like an hour and a half of increased heart rate, you know, strain on the body, and it feels great. All right, Jim, well, you go work on that fitness. Jim brings up a very good point. He says a part of fitness health is sleep, and I need to work on that aspect of fitness now. So, Jim, thank you so much for spending your Friday evening with us, talking about your best life. And yes, get that rest. You need it, you deserve it, and we'll see you next time. Good night, Jim. Three hours of lifting, that is intense. That really is intense. But yeah, I'll do like an hour and a half of running. And then I do like 30 minutes of like core stretching, headstands, handstands, like that type of exercise, which is like a lot more low impact than the running. But it feels good, and I'm really happy about it. I feel like really balanced and, you know, really powerful and more like agile, which is always a good thing. But, you know, the important part of it is not that I'm getting that physical exercise. I think the important part of it is that it's consistent. That's what's really important for me and what I like to stay focused on, which means I'm constantly focused on what is making me happy about this activity versus like, oh, it's Monday, I've got to exercise. You know, I'm constantly thinking about like, you know. So it means that like my fitness will evolve and, you know, I have to be prepared for that. Yeah, because even until my retirement, until the day I die, I hope that I have a strong relationship with my fitness. I really do. All right, let's get back to researching. We had that raid, that was fun. Yeah, I found this cool little infographic. It says it's got science in it. I'm a big fan of science, so you know I'm gonna see what kind of science they're advocating here for. It says the mood benefits of just 20 minutes of exercise can last 12 hours. Cool, I like that. Do you agree with that, Logan? You do 3 hours of lifting, so does that mean that your 3 hours will help you feel good for what is that, like 4.5 days? You feel good for 4.5 days? I don't know. I was like just trying to do some basic math in my head, man. Jeez, this soju doing me in tonight. Right? Because it's like, if this says your mood benefits of just 20 minutes of exercise can last for 12 hours, you exercise for 3 hours, that's 3 times 3 is 9. 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. 3 days? 4.5 days? I don't know. You must be feeling good. All I know is that when I run, I feel good for at least like the next day and a half. And then after that, like my energy levels will start to drop and like my body will be telling me, like, let's go get some exercise. Let's go move, do something. If I can't go for a proper, session. So Logan says, I feel good, but not for days. After a workout, I take an ice bath or a cold shower. Cool. You got an ice bath. That's awesome. I'm not a fan of the cold showers or the ice baths. I've heard that they're healthy and that they're good for your muscles, but I'm not into it. Best advice for a broken heart. Aw. Is that what you're asking for? Do you have a broken heart? All right. I'm going to get serious for a second here. Because this is important. You've asked a very important question. And I've dealt with broken heart recently, so I think it's relevant. And especially during a pandemic, like dealing with a broken heart. Because like typically when you deal with broken heart, there's so many things that you can distract yourself with to deal with it, right? But during a pandemic, it's kind of hard because we don't really have that opportunity to like go find distractions and go make new friends. And so that's a challenge. And so my advice for you in this time of little distraction is to take advantage of what you do have, And so if you do have friends, and if you don't have friends that you can talk with, I'm offering myself up. Just go to my profile, follow me, send me a private message through Reddit. I'll be happy to talk with you about this and hold space for you. Basically, I won't talk at all. I will just like hold space for you to share. And there's a lot of power in that. But it's better if it's someone that you already are friends with and like have rapport. So that could be a sibling, that could be a lifelong friend or another type of friend. And I know it's like, it can feel like shameful and it can feel hard to talk to your friends about heartbreak. But I just suggest that you really power through that, and let them hold space for you. And holding space means like no judgment, just having that space for you to let your feelings be out, to let your vulnerability come out. And so when you reach out to a friend for this, like be very like clear in your expectation and your boundaries of what you want before asking for their help. Because the more vulnerable that you are about it, of like really digging deep into your feelings of what you're feeling, the more healing it will be for you. And it's really hard to have somebody else hold space for you when you're dealing with something so personal. And so if you have a very clear boundaries with them when you ask for them to hold that space for you, it should be good. I hope you feel better. I hope you see the love. The light is always there. What is it? The light is always there if only you're brave enough to see it, if only you're brave enough to be it. Wasn't that Amanda Gorton's famous inaugural poem? Reminded me of that. Yeah, no, I'm serious. Zoot's on here just saying I mean it. I really do mean it. Like if you don't have that friend to reach out to, or even if you do have that friend and you're not finding success in them holding that space for you, because sometimes it's hard. Like yes, you have to like say, okay, here's my boundary. Like I'm about to open my heart about what I'm dealing with, and I'm just asking you to listen. I'm not asking you to judge. I'm not asking for your feedback. I'm not asking you what I should do. I'm just asking for you to hold space and then try it out. And then if they're not able to hold space for you, like if they're immediately going to make a judgment on you or make you feel uncomfortable, like that's not good. And you could like just totally reach out to me. And I don't like seeing broken hearts. But they happen. Like I said, I even, dealt with it recently. So, it happens to everybody. We're most likely to exercise when we're in a neutral mood, not when we're feeling particularly happy or sad. Huh, that's interesting. Well, I guess like when you're happy, you're just like too excited about being happy. The exercising is not as much of a priority, I guess. But exercise has the most powerful effect on our mental states when we're in a bad mood. That I get. I always love doing that. Even when I'm like hungover, I will like force myself to go exercise even when I'm feeling like absolute crap. And I'm like, I'm hungover. I should just be vertical right now. Nope. Go for a run. It's like the hangover goes right away. Physically active people are happier and the most satisfied with their lives. But there's more to it. Exercise increases endorphins and other feel-good brain chemicals. It reduces levels of stress hormones, cortisol, and adrenaline in the body. And it is a proven remedy for both depression and anxiety. A latte. I don't really do lattes too often. Sometimes I do. I just like black coffee. I do like the AeroPress. My friend, he roasts coffee here in Vegas. And I like his coffee. He's got a good Ethiopian. I like it through my AeroPress. Just one cup. 1 cup of coffee in the morning and then tea the rest of the day. Logan, where are you? Where are you getting your coffee? I'll take a latte. You're offering a latte, but I don't know if it's going to be very easy for you to give it to me here in Vegas. People who exercise for 30 to 60 minutes 3 to 5 times a week get mental health benefits. Okay. That's not much, guys. That's not much. What was that? 30 to 60 minutes, 3 to 5 times a week. Here in North Carolina. Yeah, it's going to be hard for you to get that latte to me. Oh, interesting. My camera turned. That's weird. Don't just focus on cardio. Strength training makes us feel good too. It's been shown to reduce depression and anxiety and improve self-esteem. Yoga and Tai Chi relax the mind and body and relieve stress. Okay, so I guess yoga is considered strength training. Cool. Yeah, because I don't like lifting. I'm not a fan of lifting. You know, I certainly lift a bunch of heavy boxes and stuff around here in the warehouse. But I do like handstands. Handstands and like other yoga postures. Michelle, this is Reddit. There's no such thing as late on Reddit. The happiness sweet spot. All right, here it is. Here it is. Moderate intensity strength training made people feel happier than low and high intensity weightlifting in a Rutgers University study. Oh, you box too? I want to get into boxing. I like the only like fighting, like violent, fighting sport I do is flow arts. Can't really do them right here. But yeah, these are good. I like to flow with these. These are more of like a meditative. These are not for exercise, although like it does build up, my arms and my forearms, from all the, but these are just kind of fun. Colorful. They light up and you can make cool light shows. I usually like to play on fire. You dip the ends in white gas and burn that, and I love it. All right, so the happy spot, not too heavy, not too light. Logan, I hope you're taking it easy on the weightlifting, not going too heavy. I do. Melissa, last week, I streamed about flow state on Friday night, and I I flowed the nunchucks on stream. I know that was 2 weeks ago. And then on Tuesday, after the art stream, I did it too. Exercise outside for a bigger boost. Well, there we go. No more gym. Get out of the gym. Compared to indoor workouts, outdoor fitness makes us feel more revitalized, energetic, and engaged. Less tense, angry, and depressed. So this is good. All right, so you guys heard it. Only 30 to 60 minutes, 3 to 5 times a week. You don't have to exercise too much to get these benefits. You know, if you're just starting out to focus on your fitness journey, start baby steps. Find the things that you love about it, that you enjoy about it. Same thing in drinking tea. Now, Reddit, I'm about to get kicked off here, but I love you guys very much. I had a great night hanging out with you guys. If you want to keep up with me, follow me here on Reddit. Come to that website. Oh, that was fun. 3 hours. That's the first like full 3-hour stream I've done to Reddit before. 3 to 4. The number of calories we burn during a minute of sex that counts as moderate exercise? Well, there we go. Another form of exercise that could be quite popular. Orgasms boost your mood too. It's a double win. All right. If only like we could openly like advocate for more sex, but you know, during the time of a pandemic, you got to be a little careful about that. We need to encourage people to stick to themselves a little bit more than usual. Our study found that active people don't talk themselves out of exercising unlike the rest of us. The message ignores the demotivating self-talk and just do it. The fitness feedback loop. The more physically competent we feel, the more motivated we are to be physically active. All right, well, there we go. That kind of puts into words what I was talking about with like the importance of finding your personal enjoyment in it versus just doing it because we need to or we should. Yeah, and so I guess these are all the papers that they cited for this cute little infographic. Goldilocks goals. Being physically active improves physical and overall self-esteem. To get the benefits, set exercise goals that have the potential to give you a sense of accomplishment. Oh, here it is. If you're type A, make sure you're getting some exercise that's non-competitive. Focusing on winning negates the mood-boosting power of a workout for your personality type. I don't know why I find that funny, but I find that really funny. Type A's are always going to make it competitive, though, even if they're doing an activity by themselves. Right? Like, that's the whole nature of their personality. That's funny. All right, so enough of this infographic. I actually found a real scientific study that we could look at. So this is titled The Association Between Physical Fitness Performance and Subjective Happiness Among Taiwanese Adults. Also a culture with a strong tea influence. So, should be interesting to read this. Yeah, my phone is just like covered in Reddit notifications. All right. The purpose of the present study was to determine the association between health-related physical fitness, performance, and perceived happiness status among adults in Taiwan. A cross-sectional study was conducted and data derived from the National Physical Fitness Survey in Taiwan, 2014 to 15. The participants included 27,930 men and 30,885 women aged 23 to 64 years. Each participant completed a standardized structured questionnaire and underwent anthropometric variable and health-related physical fitness requirements. The happiness outcome of an individual was obtained using the questionnaire, and the results were stratified into happy, very happy, quite happy, and fair, and unhappy, unhappy, and not at all happy. Groups for perceived happiness status. The measurements were evaluated using cardiorespiratory endurance, a 3-minute step test, muscular strength and endurance, a 1-minute sit-up test, flexibility, sit-up and reach test, and body composition, body mass index, and waist-to-hip ratio. To determine the existence of a dose-response relationship, 4 quartiles of the fitness components were analyzed using multiple logistic regression models. Multiple logistic regression results indicated that with the worst performance level of fitness components as a baseline, significant associations were observed for the sit and reach test and BMI among men. For women, significant associations were observed for the 1-minute sit-up test. The current study suggested that higher values in flexibility, in body composition, happiness-related factors potentially improve the occurrence of happiness among men. But why not women? Moreover, this positive effect of higher values of muscular strength, endurance, and BMI was observed for the occurrence of happiness in women. Okay. However, the relevant mechanism underlying this phenomenon must be further explored. Interesting. So for men, according to this study, if you want to, do what's good according to this study, what they found, you can focus on your flexibility and body composition, as well as for women, focus on muscle strength, endurance, and BMI. What do you guys think? You think that this is accurate with like your own personal fitness goals? Yeah, for the men out there that consider themselves focused on your fitness, how does flexibility in what was it? Flexibility in body composition affect your happiness? Do you find there's any difference? I get it. So the same for women, we want to focus on strength, endurance, and BMI. Like, yeah, I'm very much interested in endurance. So that's why, like, in my fitness development, I'm like more focused about increasing the amount of, elevated fitness that I do. So, I started out running 2 miles, and then 3 miles, then 5 miles, and then 7 miles, and now, I do 10 miles, and I would love to like build myself up to be able to like complete an entire marathon. Like that endurance is what, excites me and keeps me motivated. So Melissa says, I wonder how much of it's actual physical and how much of it relates to mental, emotional because of societal training. That's an interesting reference, Melissa. Yeah, I'm almost at the half marathon now. I'm almost there. I'm almost there, guys. Oh, just kidding. Just kidding. Yeah, no, I'm almost there. I know if like tomorrow morning, if I woke up and someone came into my room with my shoes and was like, we're running a half marathon right now, let's do it. I'd be able to do it. A marathon, that one's a challenge. But even that, I think if I had to, like if I was like in a life and death situation where like I just had to keep running until I can't run anymore, I believe I'd be able to do the full marathon in that case. But that's a good point about the societal training. Something else to keep in mind, Melissa, is that this article is from Taiwan. And, Taiwan has very different societal norms around body image than we have here. But at the same time, you're right too, especially like for women, the weight of strength, endurance, and BMI for a Taiwanese woman, which, their societal training is a lot different in that like women are considered, very fragile. But I don't know. I don't think so either. I'm thinking about, my experiences in Taiwan. The women, I found the archetype of women to be a lot different than, the rest of Asia, to be a lot stronger and more independent. So maybe there is like a societal influence on that as well. I'm going to go look at this report. I always like to just like go to the end, to the discussion. Compared to the baseline, overweight male participants and pre-overweight female participants are less likely to be happy. This result indicated that being overweight for men, or the possibility of becoming overweight for women, may be associated with anxiety, depression, low self-esteem, and other negative physiological influences among the Taiwanese adult population. So this right here, Melissa, I think probably would be, a lot closer to what you're talking about. Societal pressures giving you those anxieties versus your own anxiety. What's interesting? Last week we had like on Valentine's Day, we had like a social experiment where we experienced intensified intimacy with the stranger. And the stranger that I spoke with, one of the questions is, how do you envision yourself but anyway, regardless of that, I'm not going to tell that story. What was learned from that story was that there was this like acceptance of bad health. And I just like, I couldn't wrap my head around it. Cause like that would be bringing me so much anxiety in my life if I had already accepted that I have bad health and that that's just who I am and how I'm going to be. specifically around fitness. Not so much like genetically, you're dealing with something, but just like I live an unhealthy lifestyle and I know that and I accept that and I know that that's just what I'm going to be dealing with for the rest of my life. I mean, that person certainly didn't have any type of societal anxiety about that. And they didn't even have any like personal anxiety about that either. It's interesting, different. Researchers have indicated the negative effects of overweight and obesity on subjective well-being. However, according to literature in psychology and economics, subjective well-being has been used as an overarching term to encompass indicators of self-reported happiness, general satisfaction with life, and general quality of life. They demonstrated an interesting finding to explain this inconsistency. According to their analysis, limited evidence is available for the adverse effects of obesity on subjective well-being when health and functional status are controlled for. People who remain a suitable health condition and who are without functional disability may experience lower than expected adverse effects from obesity. According to participants in the present study, were preliminarily examined before data collection, thus largely eliminating the aforementioned population and mediating the effect of the health status and disability as a consequence. Although little direct evidence is available on the relationship between physical flexibility and happiness, one result reported that flexibility, the sit and reach tests, positively affected happiness from the second highest group of men. From an injury perspective, flexibility is related to health status, particularly back pain, muscle soreness. That is true. And, like body pain, like persistent body pain will definitely affect your happiness because, like you have trouble sleeping, you just have trouble being comfortable. So that totally makes sense. I'm big into flexibility. I feel happier when I'm more flexible. First, the data were representative of the Taiwanese population, which eliminated selective biases from the sampling. Second, according to the review of the relevant literature, this is the first study to investigate the relationship between fitness performance and subjective happiness. However, the study has some limitations. First, the dichotomous system of subjective happiness might miss valuable information from the personal experiences of participants. Additionally, the prominent happiness level of Taiwanese citizens causes a hugely imbalanced data set for this study. The difference between happy and unhappy groups is strongly divergent and may result in often described significances. Future investigations should examine the relationship between the physical fitness levels and happiness in or compared with populations from different cultures, societies, or even religions in order to provide a comprehensive view. Second, a causal relationship cannot be determined because of the cross-sectional study design. Third, as mentioned previously, the participants were primarily examined for their health status. The survey data eliminated the functionally disabled and physically unfit population. Besides, due to the limited information that can be used, we suggest the authorities in Taiwan should consider a more informative questionnaire. And it's cool. I mean, this study is definitely not the end-all, be-all. Let's go check on our girl, see if she's still working out. Oh yeah, she's still going at it. Damn. She must be so sore. I hope she does some good stretches when she finishes here. Oh, she's taking a break. Oh, thank goodness. But, I mean, that doesn't look like a very comfortable break. It really doesn't look like a comfortable break. Oh, guys, it's 11:35. We've been talking about fitness for 3.5 hours, guys. This is good. This is a good start. I hope this is inspiring for you guys and has helped you wrap your own head around your idea and relationship with fitness. And again, it's not it's not just about the physical fitness. It's so much more than that. I have some friends coming to pick up some tea, and they're like, "Oh, we're still coming." I'm like, "That's cool. I'm here." I'm just streaming, hanging out in the park with this girl, this crazy woman that just keeps going. she's getting a little choppy there. But yeah, I hope that this conversation has been inspiring for you all to I mean, if anything, taking the first step of facing your fear around fitness. And I think that that's like a big thing for people. I know it was a big thing for me that from, 18 until 32, when I finally decided I'm finally going to like face my fitness and build my goals and my lifestyle around my fitness. The reason why I didn't do it before was because I was kind of afraid. I was afraid that I wasn't going to like what I was going to learn about my own body and my own health. I was afraid I wasn't going to like the activities that I was going to have to do and the lifestyles that I was going to have to adopt. And I like so much wish that I would have started earlier, on that journey. But everything happens for a reason, and, can't have any regrets other than you're not doing what you want to do now. So I'm encouraging all of you guys to, on a regular, to think about your fitness, think about how your body's feeling, and also relate that to your own emotional state and your own happiness. Because as we've learned today, even the physical part of fitness is a huge contributor for our happiness and our positive mental state. Yeah, Melissa, it's all connected. I know I got a little distracted there for a while, but then, it's all related too. Especially when you put things into primal perspectives, everything is related. We are one. All right, guys, who should we go raid? What is she making today? And my friend, she's always making Baby Yodas. Oh, she's making a funny little Freddy Krueger one. Yeah, we should go watch her art. Support her art. Share some tea love with her. Tell her the tea raid is here. All right, guys, let's go raid her. Because, yeah, I've got to get on with my evening. It's been fun. I've had a great Friday night with you. I'm like so looking forward to my run tomorrow, my exercise tomorrow. I hope it's a beautiful sunny day because I'm gonna soak it up. You don't know how to do that? You don't know how to raid? Well, just stick with me here, Melissa. We'll go. My channel will automatically take us to the raid, and when we get there, just share with her the tea love. We'll say, we come from the tea party. I don't know her name. I just know her channel's name is Craft and Canvas. Craft and Canvas. Oh, she's got a pretty big audience right now. Yeah, let's go give her some tea love. And I will see you guys on Monday. I'll be back on Monday for Dignified Hospitality. And yeah, a whole week of programming next week. I hope you guys have a beautiful weekend. Enjoy it all. Enjoy your fitness. Enjoy yourself. Love yourself. And I'll see you soon.